That pistol get sparky. Movie got shooter, got yeah. Meet at the marquee. Whoa. Fast car, whoa. It go a mile a minute. No, movie got signed to living. Yeah, you know it's time for cinema. Yeah. Bitch, what's a cinnamon? Tell your partner cinnamon. Bitch, what's a movie man? It be 40 doing man. Tell him keep it cinema. Tell him keep it cinema.
Movie guys on deck, movie guys on set. Boy, we can set the stage and shoot it out for real, but I ain't seen an IP yet. Wait, box with us, it'd be a last fight. Going Jim Carrey with the mask like. I've been making movies since a past life. Everybody asking what is that like. Last critic in the fast clinic. Bag on me, but it stacks in it. Me and Quad going cinema from the intro until the last minute. Super Saiyan, I don't have limits. Run the game like the Flash with it. Get fly, get the money, then run it back. That's the last tenant. Movie guys on your screen, make the fans all scream. Your girl came through, said she wanna join the scene. X-rated Maxine, pitch black, got the vision still. Making moves, have to sit them still. Beef with us, you better be for real. Either cut the check or I'ma clutch it still.
Cut the malarkey. That pistol get sparky. Movie got shooter, got yeah. Meet at the marquee. Fast car. It go a mile a minute. Movie got signed to living. You know it's time for cinema. Whoa.
Because you're doing VR.
Oh shit, I'm right there.
So you actually
Check
have to
it
fight and
out.
all that shit. Use a little climb on the walls and all that shit.
Oh, yo, we live.
Yo.
What's good, everybody?
Hey, one time.
Yep.
What'd you eat today?
Shit. I ain't had nothing to eat.
You lying?
have?
I had nothing to eat, bro.
That don't sound like you. You what they call it? When you only drink water, you fasting?
I just wasn't hungry today. I don't know.
That doesn't sound like you. You
But
good?
you know what I
Everything
got?
good
You
at
know
home?
what I got? You know what I got right now?
What?
I got some bunch of crunch. Yes, sir.
Oh my god.
Yes, sir.
Hey man.
Hey,
man. Speaking of
what?
food, keeping on the movie guys, nigga. Last time I went to the movies, which was what, Thursday, nigga. I can never go to the movies after 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, nigga, because they stopped serving hot dogs, nigga. I had to get them salty ass chicken tenders, nigga.
Yeah.
When I went
So
to see Gladiator yesterday, they didn't have no hot dogs, and I went at 12.
Oh what? Oh
Yeah.
no. I'm about to
Dog, it's
start
because
reporting these
people
niggas.
wouldn't go see Wicked and they're eating all the fucking food.
I know. Fat white hoes. That's all who gonna see it. The fat white hoes. Fat white theater hoes.
What?
It's like Miss Fang.
Oh,
I know they all built like Miss Fang.
what?
Everybody
did,
who hyping up Wicked look like Fang. Miss Fang.
What
Why
did
you
Alex?
calling
What
me?
did Alex say? He said he on the way to the house.
He said he's going to the drops out of the
Yeah,
hospital.
he doing something. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we back. I think we haven't done a show in like 2 weeks, yo.
Yeah. It was
I
slow
think it's been
until
like
this
2
week.
weeks. And I'm gonna just tell y'all a lot. It's been a lot of reasons, you know. People been busy. No topics, no movie reviews. There's been movies, of course, but not enough for us to do a whole show.
Yeah.
Plus, Gladiator and Wicked came out this weekend, so we just decided to wait till this weekend. But we back. I don't have that many topics for y'all. Because again, it's been light on topics the past couple weeks. I do have a couple that I'm gonna get through, but mostly we just gonna do some reviews and then you know, tell y'all how we felt about some of the movies that we've seen, and then get the hell up out of here. Let's see. Okay, so I believe Saint is at the movies currently. He had to work today. He had to work today, so he had to go to a later showing. So he'll probably come in around halfway. Alex apparently is dealing with taking care of some. I don't know if he's going to be on the show or not, but
he said 30 minutes.
Okay.
So he on nigga time. So I say an hour maybe. You know.
All right.
If he reached that, so
for right now, we still got the rest of the guys. I'm gonna get to the intros. Before I get to the intros, I do want to do a quick shout out to Blaze 4K and Lazy Titan. They helped us with the new intro that you guys just saw. If you haven't seen it, run the video back.
Yes, sir.
The new visual, the new intro. Shout out to Blaze and Lazy Titan for making that for us. Really do appreciate it. They did that out of the love of their hearts. Because me and Alex did make a new intro song for them. So this was kind of like their way of, giving back. So I really do appreciate it. The visual is fire. Let me know what y'all think about it. And yeah, man, how y'all like the new intro that me and Alex did? Let me know. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to the intros. Red Pad, go ahead.
Oh yeah, what's up, y'all? Yeah, love you guys. We do this for y'all, nigga. I didn't feel like seeing some certain movies, but I did. I watched it for y'all. Okay, we do that for y'all, nigga. These movies that be coming up in long as fuck.
You hyped up Wicked. I know you're not talking about Wicked.
Circumstances change, but yeah, yeah, things happen.
All right.
Oh, but also, one time, did you check that parlay? Did you place that parlay I sent you?
Place all the ones you sent me. How they looking?
The combo one? It comes down to LeBron and the Lakers, buddy.
All I need to hear. That's a dub.
Hey, how much? Wait, before we go continue, how much money you put on it?
I put a cool little 5 on it.
Oh, I put 10. Do better. Do better, buddy. About to be 400. About to be up. And guess what, nigga? Is parlay hit, nigga? You gotta buy 3 hot dogs at your next movie, and you gotta film yourself eating it, nigga.
What?
Well, you put 10. You put 10 down, so I need you to send me 50, and I'll do it.
What?
Yeah, send me 50, bro. You up right now?
That don't make sense.
You up more than me, man. You can afford to send that.
Okay, you gotta put mayonnaise on that hot dog.
I'm not. What?
Bro, first of all, my theater, they don't even have mayonnaise packets. Like, you'd have to ask for that. Like,
yeah, the nigga Jordan asked for, bro. Jordan asked for mayonnaise packets.
That's terrible. What?
He asked for mayonnaise packets. It's smothered that bitch in mayonnaise.
That's terrible.
Mayonnaise on a hot dog, dog. Oof.
Let's finish the intros, though. Go ahead, Mafia. How you been?
Yeah, I've been doing good one time. How's everyone doing? We're back, and let's get cinema, guys.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Shout out to Mafia. He saw a lot of movies. We're gonna get some reviews. Speaking of somebody who saw a lot of movies, somebody who didn't. Tarek.
I saw 2 movies. I saw 2 movies. What are you talking about? I saw 2 movies.
We've been gone for 2 weeks. I saw 2 movies. So.
So do you. What do you watch? other than the microwave, what do you watch? Huh?
Other than the microwave is crazy. You know why I be pressing it before it hit 0.
Yeah, I do.
I'm not gonna lie.
You gotta hit it when it's at 5 seconds.
Look at you.
This nigga think he got a showering on. And
right. What's your good luck? What's your good luck number, nigga? You stop it.
Well, this is funny to you. I'm glad y'all enjoying this.
I'm crying.
Oh my god.
Wait, what's your good? So your good luck number is 5, nigga.
Glad y'all enjoying this.
Oh,
Tyreek, is that your intro, Tyreek? You done with your intro, Tyreek?
I was gonna say, Ridley Scott needs to pass into the afterlife, but
God, come on, dog. He better than your boy who made that other movie.
Napoleon. That was him.
No. Megalopolis. Who made that one?
What?
He's talking about Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah, he need to die. Not him. That's Ridley Scott.
That's crazy. But yeah, let's jump into the review. Well, actually, no. I got a couple topics like I told y'all. And again, this is really quick. I only got like 3 topics, I think. So we'll just go through them. Okay, so I saw this on the timeline. This is kind of interesting. It says, for the first time in history, all of the top 10 highest grossing movies of this year are sequels. How do y'all feel about that? All the top 10 highest grossing movies this year are all sequels.
I mean, that's just the way of the world, man. You can't really take risks like you used to, man.
I mean, that's really what this. Yeah, I mean, that's really what this tells us is that.
I'm surprised that it took this long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just the fact that it's the trend in Hollywood. Everything is sequels now.
that too.
Yeah.
Niggas, yeah. That's all. It seemed like that's all niggas willing to go to the movie to see is sequels.
Well,
Yeah,
we
because
just haven't had new IPs come out last decade that actually did like justify a sequel too.
Yeah, that too.
yeah, when you think about it, when you have a movie come out, the sequel should ideally you want the sequel to be better. So I
Yeah.
think this is good. If you can make a sequel that's better than what came before it, you're on the right track. Question is, are they going to keep up this trend? Like with a third movie, for instance.
Yeah, and another thing is if a movie does not do well the first time, most likely we never get a sequel to it. So imagine it's like if they don't even get the chance to even follow up, then that's why we don't get. That's probably why we don't get a lot of new IPs anymore because people are just scared of like putting out a new movie and then not doing well. Then you gotta write that shit off, and it's safe for doing a sequel. So that's kind of think
scared
how
to take risks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a $200 million risk nowadays, so
Yep.
gotta
That's why.
focus on
That's
that
why.
too.
That's why Pixar said, nigga, they make these sequels to fund their new IPs. That's why they
Oh,
got
yeah,
that new
yeah,
IP coming out next year.
yeah. It's just that we're never gonna get original movies like that just because like we just don't know how well that movie's gonna do. Like 15, 20 years ago, you probably could like do that shit and like laugh about it if they didn't make a lot of money. No one's laughing about it now if you don't make fucking money no
Because
more.
they don't get them DVD sales no more.
Yeah, they don't get them that like DVD sales used to like carry like those movies that used to
Yep.
just randomly come out that they used to carry them.
Yep.
But that's gone. And streaming don't give you that residuals either. Well, not for everyone, but yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, and you see it mostly with the big studios, right? Because they kind of can't really afford to spend the kind of money that it takes to make a movie and
A
then
new
not
IP. Yeah.
be like a guaranteed success. But then, luckily, we do still have a lot of studios and distributors who are taking those risks. Like a A24 or a Neon. They make these indie movies, and for the most part, a lot of them don't make a lot of money, but it's almost like they don't really have as much pressure to as well. You know what I mean? Like they don't really have the pressure of this movie has to be a hit type of thing. A lot of the time, it's like a surprise hit, like Long Legs, or a couple of years ago when we had Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like those movies weren't expected to be like smash hits, but they just turned out that way. So I'm glad we at least still get stuff like that, but it does kind of suck. We don't really get as much of the type of movies that we grew up with, because it's more of a risk for these studios. But yeah,
Sounds like the video game industry.
It's very similar to the video game industry.
Yeah,
that's why there's people who complain about remakes and remasters, but it's literally the same thing. They're gonna put out a guaranteed hit to make the money, and in some cases, they'll put out those remakes and remasters to bring in money to fund the new IP. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Tarek, low key,
What?
Gladiator 2 is a remake. It's follows some of the beats.
Well, that we'll get into it, but
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we talk about it. Okay, so this is like my only other topic really. And I saw this. I think I saw this today. So Jon Watts, he was the director of Spider-Man with Tom Holland. He did those 3 movies. He came out with a movie earlier. I think it was last month or a month before. Brad Pitt and what's my name? George Clooney. Brad Pitt, George Clooney. And the movie was on Apple, right? I think we talked about it. It's called Wolves. I don't remember if anybody saw it because it was streaming only. But essentially, if y'all don't remember, that movie was supposed to release in theaters, and like last minute, they switched it up and said it's streaming only. It's going to be on Apple TV only. So basically, we got some news that the sequel to Wolves has been canceled. Right? That was like a few days ago. Well, recently, with either I think it was either today or yesterday, Jon Watts came out and said that he canceled the sequel, and he said the reason why is because Apple took away the film's theatrical release, um, without telling him, without his approval. And so he said, "Okay, well, I'm going to cancel the sequel." And he gave back the money they paid him for the sequel, and he said he didn't want to work with them anymore after what they did to the first movie.
Yeah.
How y'all feel about that though?
I understand why he was pissed, nigga. Shout out to him for sticking to his guns and shit, nigga. I don't get what would like it's Clooney and Brad Pitt in the movie, nigga. The movie was gonna make some money. Like
Right.
y'all could have
Right.
put that on streaming afterward. That shit don't make no sense to me. And I don't think that movie being exclusive to streaming helps them gain subscribers. So yeah, that
Is it
was
only
stupid.
exclusive to Apple too?
Yeah, it was exclusive. It was an Apple movie. Yeah.
Man, fuck Apple.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that much, but
What,
because
what the fuck?
y'all, if y'all know, it's funny. I think Napoleon and Kills of the Moon, that's Apple movies too, and those went to
Yeah, they were.
theaters,
They were,
and those did
yeah.
all right. And mind you, these movies cost twice as much as this movie costs to make. So I don't know what Apple was. I don't know what they was thinking when they did this shit.
Yeah,
Very
it
questionable.
didn't make a lot of sense. Now, granted, I will say I don't think the promotion for the movie was very good in the first place, which we know Apple is notorious for having bad promotion for their products. Or at least,
Yeah.
at least, at least
which
on
makes
the
no sense.
yeah,
That
at least
doesn't make any
on
sense at
the
all.
Apple TV side, their promotion is terrible. They have so many good
Yeah,
shows
good shows. Yeah,
that I'd be telling
and with
people to
Emmys too.
watch. Great shows, but they don't promote them that much. It's almost like word of mouth type of shit.
Facts. I never heard about Wolf until y'all brought it up.
Exactly. So I think maybe that's what it was. Maybe they had some like analytics that was telling them the movie wasn't going to do well, so they pulled it last minute. I don't agree with that though. They should have still, especially if you had already agreed to do it, you should have put it in theaters and let whatever happens happens, and then put it on streaming afterwards. And if it builds a fan base, cool. But yeah, it was kind of fucked up how they did him. But I do think what he did as far as pulling the sequel and standing his ground was, I mean, it's a good thing. He's not giving in to the studios. Like he's not doing it just for the check. He gave the money back. So I know a lot of people probably wouldn't have done that. They would have just kept it going. But yeah, real quick, Jack said, he said, where's Saint Donuts and Alex? Donuts.
Donuts say he coming back next year.
Yeah, he's
for the new year.
been having a busy year. He hasn't been on in a while, but Alex is coming. Saint is at the movies right now. He'll be on later. So,
Oh, yeah, one time too. Ain't Apple like basically new to this film industry shit? Like movies,
Not
I'm not talking
really.
TV shows.
Well, kind of,
Yeah,
sort
I
of.
think there is.
I
So
mean,
guess
Apple
you give 'em
TV
a
came out
little-
in what 2019, so they haven't been doing this.
Yeah,
shit
they
that long.
still new. Yeah,
Yeah, they haven't been doing this shit that long.
their TV shit good, nigga. They movies is questionable, very questionable, nigga.
Yeah, I mean, Napoleon was mid. Flower Moon was great, but
They got robbed.
yeah,
Oh, they definitely did. Yeah,
The actress got robbed.
she did.
Facts.
but yeah, that's actually I don't have many topics. I was going through earlier just to see like any topics, any big news. I don't know if I'm missing something because I mean it has been a few weeks, but I don't really have much to talk about.
You forgot one time.
What?
Hey man, Brad Pitt. You know they filming F1 at the Las Vegas Grand Prix, man. So yes, sir.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
We about to get some authentic like some Tom Cruise shit, nigga. Yeah.
Yeah, you know
Brad
it's the
Pitt
same
doing it
director
big.
as Top Gun.
Top Gun. Yes, sir. I can't wait, nigga. Yeah.
Sir. Well, we can go ahead and get to the reviews. Like I said, we got a lot of reviews. We've been gone for so damn long. Mafia held us down. He saw a lot of movies. I want to get to some of the movies that he saw. Real quick, Mafia, you saw Anora, right?
Yep. Here, Anora, Heretic. What else came out? Everything that came out, I've seen.
Real quick, Tyrek, I thought you said you was gonna go see that Bonhoeffer movie, whatever.
Oh,
I've seen
I
this
saw that
tomorrow.
one too.
I'm seeing that tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I'll just
Dog, Wicked took all the dog. We'll talk. That's I know we're done with topics. Dog, I literally could not watch Gladiator until 10 o'clock at night because of Wicked. Like that shit was annoying as shit. So
Wicked taking over, man.
and because of that, I couldn't see Bonhoeffer because they have him at awkward times. For some reason, it's like Wicked took up so much times that you only could watch some movies in either the very, very, very late or early in the morning. Like you were fucked in between. That shit was annoying as shit. They gotta stop doing that.
Yeah.
That shit fucked me up. So I wanted to see Bonhoeffer on Thursday. I couldn't see it because they canceled the fucking the showing for Wicked.
Taking up too many
That
screens.
was
They had to give Wicked a
yeah.
screen.
I was like, damn, dog. Yeah.
But I reviewed Anora the last show we did, but Mafia saw it, so I want to get his thoughts on it too. Real quick, Mafia, how'd you feel about Anora?
Oh man, I loved it. It was a great movie. So, in terms of acting, I thought the girl who played Anora, she did a good job. She was hilarious, especially with her interactions with the guards who came in a little later towards the movie. All of them as a group was just hilarious. With the without trying to spoil, when they finally found the couple and the whole little scene that happened with all the chaos that went through, that was hilarious. The candy shop, the strip club. Anora was a very fun movie.
Yeah, I thought so too. The movie is getting a lot of buzz. I think they said it made like 20 million or something so far. So that's pretty good for that. It's an indie movie, so for that it's pretty good.
Yes. If you just want to see a nice, fun movie where you'll be laughing from start to end, Anora is a great movie, especially like a date movie. I think it's on streaming now, so that's a good stream and chill movie for anybody who's interested in watching it. You will not be disappointed in Anora.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. As far as the funny part, I think it really for me was when her boyfriends what were like the bodyguards when they came to the house and stuff and they were trying to like tie her down and all that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, good movie, man. Good movie. I definitely recommend it. If you want to go back and listen to my review, that was I think on the last show. I believe it's still in theaters as well. Yeah, so I think you can still catch it in theaters also. But I want to also get Mafia's opinion on that movie here. I saw the trailer for the movie, and I also learned something new. That movie is apparently based on a graphic novel of the same title. And essentially, the synopsis of here, from what I have seen, it's supposed to be about a location, like in time, and they show you all the different people and their lives and everything that happened there throughout history. So, like, it starts at a specific time, and then it just goes to different eras, and it kind of jumps back and forth. Um, and it
Right.
stars Tom Hanks. It's directed by Robert Zemeckis. He's in a lot of movies. I think he did Back to the Future, most well known of his movies. I don't think the movie did very well in theaters, and the reviews also were not that good for the movie. Some of the complaints I saw said the movie jumped back and forth too many times, so
Yes.
it was hard to keep track. And I think Mafia felt the same way. But yeah, Mafia, how'd you feel about that movie here?
There was a great movie in there, but like everyone's saying, so the first half of the movie is where you get a lot of the jumping around. So it's hard to get attached to any kind of family or group you see because you might be with them for a few minutes, you might be with them for a few seconds, then they just jump. And then it's like, okay, after like half the movie, they decide, okay, now we're going to throw all our focus into Tom Hanks' family. But every blue moon, we are going to jump in and show you some more of those other families again. To the point where, like, it's like they wanted different storylines, like a multiverse, but it just doesn't hit. You like Tom Hanks' and his family story, and that honestly should have been the whole movie, but they're throwing in all these other stories, which kind of takes you out of it. But like I said, there is a good movie in there, and if you're someone like in my theater, there are a lot of elderly people. By the end of the movie, they were crying. So if you're a more elderly person, I think you'll appreciate the movie more because it kind of has a theme of like one big thing in the movie was Tom Hanks' wife. she didn't want to live in that house with his family and all that. It's just like they were a young couple who had a teenage pregnancy, and they've been living. They were basically living with his family. Her thing was, let's leave, let's get our own house. But Tom was just like, it's not a good time. It's not a good time. It's not a good time. But by the end of the movie, it's just kind of like things happen in between, but they end up back at that house. And it's just like they're trying to say, look, you may not always like your home, but your home will always be your home. At least
So let
that's what I
me
kind of got out of it.
okay. And then real quick, I forgot. So this movie here, um, I just want to ask you real quick. Do you feel like this was a good movie to watch in the theater, or would this have been better like on a streaming platform?
For like someone our age, stream at home. But if you're like an elderly person, this would be like a good movie to go. This is something they would like to go see at the movie theater.
What was your rating for this one?
Uh, Man, it's kind of hard. So if I just ignore all the other plot lines and stuff and just focus on Tom Hanks' family, I give it like a C. But all that jumping around, if I include that in there, I'll probably give it like a D plus.
I mean, that kind of lines up with a lot of the other reviews I've been
Damn.
seeing. So
There's a good movie in here. They just the director had a bad direction. I just don't get what he was trying to do with the whole jumping around.
probably would have been
Like
better if they would have contained it more.
yeah, you could have did it, but did do that at the very beginning, just like a little quick montage of like different families, and then maybe at the end you can jump into the current family that's living there, just to kind of like close out the film. But the way he executed it was the wrong way, in my opinion.
Well, appreciate your review, man.
No problem.
I want to see because I want to try to get some of these other ones out the way because I know most of us saw Heretic, so we can all speak on that. But also Red One came out. I know you saw it, Mafia. I'm trying to remember if
Oh
anybody
God.
else saw it.
Only
I
him.
don't fucking know.
Only him.
I know Kiso saw it. I'm trying to get Kiso in here. I can't remember if Saint saw it.
I
Hopefully
don't
when
think
he
so.
Nah, Saint only
Okay.
he saw it.
Okay. So let's speak on Red One real quick. Let me see if I can get Kiso in here. Because Kiso
I don't think that movie deserves to be talked about thoroughly. Go ahead,
If it
Mafia.
were not for Kiso, I would have unfairly given that movie a higher score. He made me reflect on that and realize.
well that's what's funny because Mafia and Kiso, from what I hear, didn't enjoy the movie that much, but I've also seen some people where they were like, yeah, the movie's fun. I had a fun time. So I just kind of want to see.
No, yeah, Mafia said it was good.
It had some fun parts in it, because like in my theater, there were laughs, people had a good time, but like once I spoke with Kiso and I actually reflected on it,
Yeah.
it's like one of those movies. If you have a crowd, you'll think it's better than what it actually is. But had I went like at like 7 or 8 like I normally do in the morning, I probably would have seen that it wasn't as good as I thought after doing some reflection.
Well, let's go ahead and get into it. Real quick, Kiso, are you there, brother?
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing this lovely evening?
What's going on?
Yes, sir. Salute, Kiso.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm here to talk about Red One. I do not recommend going to the theater to see this movie. I am big on holiday movies. I love cheesy holiday movies for the family. This one I cannot recommend. This was a typical rock action superhero esque movie. You know, if you've seen Rockin' Fast and Furious, if you've seen him in his other, superhero esque roles, then this one isn't going to be any different. The chemistry between The Rock and Chris Evans was there. I, did buy into their comedic chemistry. That was enjoyable. However, the plot of the movie was predictable. It wasn't enjoyable. The child actor, that did appear in the movie wasn't good. It wasn't compelling. It didn't help the movie at all. That person couldn't have been in it, and and it wouldn't have made the movie, less or more enjoyable because the movie is completely, utterly trash to me. I gave it a 4 out of 10, and the only reason I gave it a 4 instead of a 3 or a 2 is because I saw it in 4DX. The 4DX additions to the movie, did bring the score up a little bit, just because it did have the wind effects. This is a Christmas movie, so of course there are times
where the movie setting is in the North Pole. You know,
Was
so
it
they
cold?
add
Was
the
it cold in
chill.
there?
Yes, you know, they had the wind blowing inside the 4DX theater. The wind, it was chilling. It was cold. If you didn't have a sweater or jacket, it was gonna be cold. Definitely. There were times, you know, of course, during the action scenes with the movie as well, you know, the seats are moving, you know, go side to side, left and right. And then there are times where, you know, where there are certain scenes where you elevate it and the seat will rise with you know, just to give you that sense of elevation during the movie. But, you know, back to the movie itself, plot's generic, the acting subpar, you know, the saving grace is the chemistry between Quist and Dwayne, you know, The Rock. Other than that, you know, I can't recommend seeing this movie in theaters. Wait for streaming. I think it'd be, you know, cool to see maybe in the background while you're working, or if you want to put something on, you know, while you're on your phone and play board games that you don't, you know, that you don't really have to pay attention to. I think this is the movie for you. As far as it being the family movie, you know, me personally, you know, I do have a kid. You know, she's 11 years old. I typically don't let her see a lot of movies with a lot of, you know, swearing in it. This movie has some more swearing than I realized. You know, it's really PG-13, but you know, I just didn't expect, you know, the amount of swear words in this movie. So if you do have little ones, you know, you may not, you know, want to allow them to see this movie. You know, if you are sensitive, you know, to little ones hearing swear words. But that's my review of Red One.
Okay, perfect. And Mafia, how do you feel about it, Mafia?
So like Kiso was saying, like let me just start with The Rock. So this was actually one of The Rock's more terrible performances because normally he tries to phone in, like he tries to be himself, but in this movie he's not trying to be himself, but not in a good way. He's just bland. His idea is I have no personality. Let me try that out and see how that works. Whereas you have Chris Evans, who's really the personality of the movie. And like Kiso said, there is a chemistry between that, but yeah, don't go here expecting The Rock. Expect The Rock -1. As for the story is very generic. You're not getting anything new. Another one of my big complaints with this movie was I went in expecting like a Unga Bunga BG kind of movie. This movie has action, but not enough that you could call it like a Unga Bunga movie. It's just like a little action here, a little action there. Not enough to make you forget that the story is pretty generic. There are some good laughs in the movie. You will get a few good laughs, but overall, like I said, like Kiso was saying, this probably isn't something you should go see at the theater unless it's like Tuesday when the tickets are like $5. Just wait for streaming, and shouldn't be too upset about that.
So what would you give it, like a rating?
Uh, I give it like a D.
Okay. Yeah, this is one of those movies. When I saw the trailer, immediately I was like, "Yeah, nah, I'm not watching this." I'm gonna tell you all. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. I have a love-hate relationship with holiday movies. Right? I like a lot of them, but I'm also kind of I don't. I say love-hate because growing up, my mom she is like obsessed with Christmas. Um, Granted, she's not as bad as some people. I know some people they put their Christmas decorations up fucking November 1st. My
That
mom
is
is
I.
not.
That is I. My tree is
Yeah.
already up. Several trees are already up in my house and my mom's house. So I'm a holiday fiend. Love Christmas time.
See, my mom, she at least waits until after Thanksgiving. So Black Friday, the tree will be up. Um, but just like my whole childhood, Christmas music all the time. She's singing Mariah Carey all the time. Um, you know, Christmas movies. Some of it is stuff that I like the Grinch movie with Jim Carrey. I've seen it a million times because of her, but that's also a good movie. Um, Elf, I've seen Elf 100 million times because of my mother. But again, that is a good movie. So it's, but that's why I say it's love hate. It's like I like some parts of it, but also it's like Christmas shit, it's annoying. So Red One, when I seen the trailer and it's a Christmas movie, I'm like, it don't really look that good. We got The Rock and Chris Evans in it, a CGI polar bear. I'm not really interested. Um, and then so listening to a lot of the reviews, I'm mostly hearing that it's kind of mid. But I will tell y'all this: the movie it's an Apple production again, Apple TV. So the
Oh,
movie
I
will
ain't know
be
that.
on
I ain't even know.
Apple. Yeah, it will be on Apple. If I had to guess, um, shit. I mean, the way it's performing in the theaters, maybe by the end of December it'll be on that bitch. But So I don't know. Maybe we'll check it out then. But the movie is PG-13. Oddly enough, it's not. It's
Yeah.
not technically a kids movie.
PG.
It's PG-13. So that's a little strange. I mean, I guess they were going for like they wanted it to be somewhat kid friendly, but not too kid friendly. I don't know. But yeah, I do appreciate y'all review Kiso and Mafia.
No problem, man. And like I said, bro, like my score might be low because, like I said earlier, I'm a Christmas fiend. I love Christmas movies. Like For Christmas, The Elf, Santa, Home Alone, bro. I've been watching nonstop Christmas movies since November 1st, bro. So I was hyped for this movie, man, and I didn't expect greatness, but I expected it at least be enjoyed, and I did laugh a little, but I expect just an enjoyable ride. But hey, what can you expect? Like Kawhi said, so when The Rock decides, let me try to have no emotion and be a star, not gonna work.
Oh, also they underutilized their cast. Like
Absolutely.
the
Lucy
polar
Liu.
bear you thought was gonna be in the movie all the time. Nah,
Trailers,
he
trailers
didn't get 5
misleading.
minutes.
Facts. Trailer is heavy misleading this movie. If you think the polar bear is going to be in the movie, not really. If you
Lucy
think
Liu.
Lucy Liu is going to be in the movie heavily, not really. The trailer is mad misleading for this movie. This movie sets you up for maybe a fun holiday ride. Instead, all you come out is with a stack of coal. That's it.
Oh yeah. Well, we appreciate y'all review, man. Red One is still in theaters, so anybody want to check it out, go ahead check that out. We can go ahead and get to the review for Heretic because I know a lot of us saw that. Real quick, just to get a gauge, did everybody in here see Heretic? I know I saw it. Mafia saw
Yes,
it.
sir.
I
Red
saw it.
Pig, you saw Red Pig. Did you see Heretic? Or I can't remember if you saw it or not.
No, I didn't see it.
Okay, no problem. So we can go ahead and speak on that. Kiso, feel free to stick around if you want to, brother.
No problem.
So yeah, let's start with Tyrek because we haven't heard from him in a while. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and give y'all a synopsis of Heretic. This movie stars Hugh Grant. He kind of plays the villain role in this. It also has Chloe East. I think she's a fairly new actress. I don't think she's been in much big stuff. But it also has Sophie Thatcher. I know her from Yellow Jackets. If any of y'all have seen that TV show, she is on that show. She's pretty good in that show, and I think she does pretty good in this movie too. But just as a synopsis, this movie is about two Mormon missionaries, the two young ladies. They are going around essentially, just spreading the word of their church, trying to get people interested to coming to, the Mormon church and everything like that. And they go to this man's house to try to, again, just spread the word. And they essentially find out that the guy is fucking crazy and he's trapped them in his house. And so they have to play his, games and, his riddles or whatever to try to get out. That's basically the synopsis. Tyrek, what did you think about the movie? How did you feel about this when you watched it?
So this movie was very, very mid to me. The first half I thought was actually pretty good. And then towards the second half, especially the conclusion on the last 15, 20 minutes, I was just like, I don't know. It just didn't match with the vibe with the first half of the movie. And it was just a letdown. I did like the first half because it was more of like a psychological horror thriller. Because it was basically like religious, like debate and banter and stuff like that. Which some of it, if you watch like the Zeitgeist or something like that, you heard some of the arguments made in that one, and then the back and forth if you've been on like the internet for a while. So I thought that was pretty interesting. The conversation, like the dialogue, I felt like in the actual because a lot of it's just verbal. There's not a lot of action in the movie towards the end, but like the verbal back and forth was, pretty much what the movie's like main steak and potatoes is. Pretty much that's like the main part of the movie. So when they focus on that, I liked it. But when they kind of start introducing what's I don't want to spoil it, but when they started like when it started to turn to a psychological thriller to a horror movie, that's when I was like, all right, this is the letdown. I wish they kind of just focused on the psychological part and the religious part, and they kind of moved away from it, and it kind of got silly, and especially got silly towards the end. If I had to give it a rating, I'm probably gonna give it a 6 out of 10, just for the first half of that movie. But man, and I feel like a lot of movies this year has been doing the same shit. Like the first halves are really, really strong, and then they drop the ball in the second half. Usually, it's kind of flipped where you kind of start slow and finish strong. But I don't know. As of late, it's been the opposite, which is fucking horrible. But yeah, 6 out of 10. I'd wait to watch this on streaming.
Yeah, so I kind of bounce off of Tyreek's review because a lot of it I do agree with. And again, we'll keep this spoiler free. So right off the bat, I just want to let it be known this movie is listed as a horror movie. It's not really scary. It's not scary at all. Yeah, no, I'm going back and looking and thinking in my head like of any moments that would be considered scary. There's really not any. Red Peg, you could watch this movie. I don't think you'll even jump. So
You
don't
won't.
even trip.
This is not a horror movie.
Yeah, like Tyrek said, it's more of a thriller, which is funny because I feel like that applies to a lot of movies that came out this year. A lot of movies that came out this year, they're listing them as horror, but they're really not horror. So I am curious about that, why that is. But yeah, anyway, back to Heretic. One thing about this movie that made it enjoyable for me was the performances. I think the two young ladies did really good for what they had to do. They have different personalities in the movie. You know, one is like a very, very like devout Mormon. The other one, you know, you learn that she wasn't always a Mormon. She kind of converted, and so she has some of I guess not necessarily like a different perspective. I guess she wasn't 100% raised in the life, so she knows some of what it's like to be outside of it. But yeah, performance wise, I think the two actresses did well. Hugh Grant, he is easily the best part of this movie just because of his performance. He's obviously a well known actor. He's been acting for a long time. I don't think I've ever seen him in a role like this, where he plays a villain like this. He kind of plays like a fucking psychopath, but not like a serial killer type psychopath. Just more of like a weirdo psychopath. I don't know. But there are some moments where he does get really dark in the movie, like evil. So it's just good to see that part of him. Like he did a very, very good job acting. Story wise, like Tyrek said, I agree. It's actually very interesting in the beginning, the middle, like the whole setup of it all, the whole when it finally gets into like the girls realizing that they're trapped and then they have to figure out how to get out. Like all that is very, very interesting. Keeps you interested. But it does have a moment in the movie where it does kind of switch. The tone kind of switches and it tries to bring in some more horror elements. But the way that it's done, to me, it's not scary and it wasn't as interesting as the stuff that they started the movie with. I'll just say that. What else can I say? Just again, keeping it spoiler free. The movie does have some interesting, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, like you'll learn some stuff watching this movie because this movie it kind of brings in like little factoids. It talks about like religion and like the history of it all and like how there's similarities in so many different religions and how they all kind of combine and you know they have like arguments about it like which religion is the true religion and do you really believe and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of has like dialogue on that. And it also kind of ties it into music, which I enjoy because they bring up Radiohead, which I love Radiohead for those that don't know. So yeah, there's some cool shit in there as far as the story, but like Tyrek said, I agree. It kind of falls off after a point. And then the ending, I'm not going to spoil, but I wasn't a big fan of how it ended. I just felt like it was kind of abrupt, kind of strange. That being said, I do think this movie is worth watching. Whether or not you want to watch it in theaters or streaming, I think that's up to you. I really wouldn't say either way, but I do think it's worth watching. This is a cool movie. I think it may even be more enjoyable if you watch it with a group or at least one other person. So yeah, me personally, I would give this movie it's like a 6.5. It's teetering on a 7, but I give it like a 6.5. Enjoyable first half. Second half, I was not feeling it as much, but it's still worth the watch.
Do
Especially
not
for
send these
Hugh.
people to the movie theater, dog.
Yeah, I mean it's up to them, but like I said, Hugh Grant, he was just really good, bro. He was really good at the villain in this movie.
Yeah, he was, but Jesus Christ, man,
really good performance from him. But yeah, Mafia, what you thought about it?
So I agree with a lot of what you and Tarek said, but where I'm gonna push back is the second half. So once they got down into that certain area of the house, I know it kind of pulled away from where the story was going, the whole arguments and stuff. But for me, it got a little bit more interesting because I thought this is where the movie was kind of gonna go into that like supernatural kind of horror aspect because it's just like, okay. So he's presented this whole argument this whole time that he doesn't quite believe in religion.
Right.
But now he's introducing this certain element that's like, okay, so has he just been bullshitting us the whole time? And he does. And then, certain stuff happens to where it's like, okay, this movie's going in a whole nother direction. But it's still interesting. I'm still curious. The movie hasn't lost my interest. For me, I was still invested in it. Now, I will say the ending, how they ended the movie, was like you were saying, it was kind of stupid because that kind of contradicts the second half at that point. Because it's just like, why? Like, why would the director throw this in there? Because you kind of just smacking your own movie in the face.
Yeah, I can see that. And
But
that's
not
the thing
counting that
too.
yet.
The ending
Go
is
ahead.
also kind of, for a lot of people, is kind of up to your interpretation. It's not 100% clear on what really happens. So that's the other part about it. But I'm sorry, go ahead, Mafia.
So that part too. So I have my own. Well, me and Waterboy talked about it in the Discord, but I can't really say because that kind of spoiled it. But I think it really happened. Like I think a part of it she was hallucinating, but the ending we got, I think I can't say it will spoil it, but we'll have to talk about that in private. But I think this is a good movie and it's worth going to see. And so I had a friend. She didn't want to see it because she doesn't really like the idea of people talking against religion. But for those people who had that kind of mindset, you can see this movie and you won't be turned off by it. This isn't the kind of movies where it's just talking down on the religion. It makes points for and against it. So I think even like a hardcore skeptic can come see this movie and find enjoyment.
That's kind of how I felt about it. Like it doesn't really try to sway you one way or the other. They bring up points to argue against religion, but then they also bring up points, like he said, to argue for it. So I will say I wasn't expecting that when I went into the movie though. I didn't expect that to be part of the plot. When I saw the trailer, it kind of just felt like, this dude kidnapped these girls and he was going to have them play like some jigsaw type games to get out. That's what I thought it was going to be like. But there's a little bit more to it than that. But what would you give it like a rating, Mafia?
I give it like a C plus because, like I said, that ending was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But overall, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't think this was a bad movie. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. So yeah, I feel like it's definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it. But just be aware, it's not really a horror. So there's that. We can go ahead and get to the next review. Some of these I do want to. I know Saint saw A Real Pain. Mafia saw that as well.
Yes.
Alex saw Heretic. So I do want to get his review eventually. Hopefully he can come back in here soon. And then obviously we have Wicked and Gladiators too. I'm gonna save those two for last. So Mafia, while we're waiting for Alex, let's go ahead and get your thoughts on A Real Pain. Let me pull up the synopsis on this real quick. This was actually a movie that I was thinking about seeing just because I like the actors in it. I haven't had the chance to see it yet. but I'm gonna tell y'all the synopsis real quick. So this movie stars Jesse Eisenberg, and it stars Kieran Culkin. He's the brother of Macaulay Culkin. Um, for those who have seen fuck, what's the name of that show? Succession. I almost said Severance. For those that have seen Succession on HBO, he was one of the actors in that show. Great show, really really good show. And he's one of the best characters in that show and actors. Um, and then Jesse Eisenberg. I mean, he's been acting forever. Y'all know Jesse Eisenberg. This movie is actually directed by Jesse Eisenberg, and I believe he co-wrote it as well. Um, but essentially, this movie it's about two cousins. They go on a tour in Poland to honor their grandmother, who was a Holocaust survivor. So they basically take like a Holocaust tour in Poland just to try to remember her because she's recently passed away. And um, the synopsis basically says as they're going through this adventure, it kind of brings up some, family stuff that they're dealing with, and they got to get through it together. So it's really just like a heartfelt movie from what I'm getting, comedy drama about these two relatives and what they've gone through with their family. Mafia, how did you feel about this movie?
This was a this is a kind of movie that when you go see it, it is going to make you feel something. It's just like again, like you were saying in synopsis, they're going to visit where their grandma used to live in Poland. And so let me take it back a little bit. So okay, you got Jesse and you got don't I forgot his name, but
You know, Kieran.
they're cousins. Jesse is a kind of nerdy, kind of quiet cousin. He wants to be outgoing and all this, but that's not him. And then you got Macaulay Culkin's brother. He's an outgoing person. He can talk with anybody. You want to hang out with him. He's that chill guy. But in terms of life, he doesn't have much going on. He's living in his mom's basement. And as they go on this trip, they meet another group of people, mostly Jews, or there was this one black guy who converted to Judaism. Throughout most of the movie, they're going on this trip and they take a tour. And during the tour, they interact with these people. And this is where you get a lot of the feeling in the movie because a lot of these people, they have something going on in their life or something that kind of relates to like what happened to the Jews. And as the movie goes on, what's Culkin's, what's the guy's name again?
Kieran.
Kieran. Okay. Throughout the movie, he kind of goes from back and forth from being that cool and chill guy to where he's kind of starting to feel his emotions out because he was real close to their grandmother and seeing where their people were at and what they went through kind of causes some conflict with him and other characters in the movie because he's just like, okay, do you not see how privileged we are in the world right now? Like we're sitting in a first class cart and we're just enjoying life so pampered. Like how do I say it? It's just like he doesn't feel like they're everybody's really grasping like the privilege they have now compared to their ancestors back then. And you have some characters who are just like, well, that shit didn't happen to me, so who cares? But then he's just like, who cares? The only reason you're here is because those people survived. So there's kind of a conflict there. Then Jesse Eisenberg's character, he's kind of like, can you just like tone it down, man? Like he doesn't want to feel. He just kind of wants to do this trip, get it over with, and get back to life. So that kind of brings like a little conflict between them. But getting back to it, yeah, even if you're not Jewish, if you're someone whose people have suffered, you can feel some kind of connection to this movie. This movie will draw out those kind of emotions in you. And overall, I'd say it's a pretty good movie. I'd say it's worth to see.
What movie y'all talking about?
A Real Pain.
Y'all already talk about Heretic?
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna get your thoughts on it after Mafia is done with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead, Mafia.
I just say I'd probably give this movie like a C plus because they say it's comedy, but it wasn't all that funny to me. It was just like a movie where we learn a little bit of history and they get you to feel something.
And you said what, C plus?
Yeah, I give it like a C plus.
Okay. Do you think this is worth watching in theater or at home?
Uh, I say yeah. If it's a day you're not really doing much, definitely go out to the theater and see it. But it's not something you should be hard pressed to see. But it's a good movie.
Okay, but appreciate that, Mafia.
No problem.
And Alex, you good to talk about Heretic?
Yeah, my mic sound bad or is it straight?
No, you sound
Sound
pretty
good,
good. We
baby.
just reviewed it. We did the synopsis, so you can just jump in. How'd you feel about Heretic?
I'm bad. I'm gonna be on my phone probably for the next 15 minutes, but um, it was cool, bro. I think, damn, and now I done forgot the nigga name. Who the main dude name?
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant. Okay, yeah. Hugh Grant's last performance I saw him in, I think, was not Dungeons and Dragons. It was the Kellogg's movie where he was
Oh,
like the fake.
the Pop Tart movie.
Where he was the little mascot and he acted like the January 26th thing that happened when they stormed the Capitol. But Hugh Grant's performance was, I think this is the the most I've ever seen him have to pull out of a character. I've seen him in random things here and there, but it was nothing of noteworthy where if I saw him in a movie, it was because I didn't know he was in it. So this is the first Hugh Grant film I've seen where he was pretty much the bill, like, hey, he gonna be the main guy. Um, what this movie did well was suspense, and unfortunately, that's my biggest mark against it. We are getting into the territory and the era of movies where because they got loud music and suspense, it's a horror. And it's like that's not a horror. It's a
Right.
suspense. Like I went
Right.
into this movie thinking, nigga, he finna do some demented, like he got him in this fucking uh Faraday box. They about to do some crazy stuff. I know y'all didn't like As Above, So Below, but what I
Right.
liked so much what I like so much about that movie. I needed you to sit with yourself for a little bit.
No, that shit was.
What I close your asshole, bro. Close your asshole, bro. What I like so much about that movie was because even though it did delve into the supernatural, it still felt grounded. That was my favorite thing about that movie. I like any horror movie that can make me believe, oh, maybe this shit. Hold on, this shit look kind of real. You know what I mean? Like that's why a lot of people liked the Exorcist movie back in the day because it was, back then, spirits and being exorcised and stuff, that was like a very scary idea back in the 80s and 90s. But nowadays, it's, run of the mill. So, what I was hoping this movie was going to do was kind of blend reality with a little bit of question mark on the supernatural part. It didn't give me that. No, let me take that back. Did y'all do spoilers for it?
No, we keep it spoiler free.
Okay, I'm not gonna spoil it. There are parts in the movie that made you question. Hold on, did that really happen? Question mark. But um, it kind of okay. The movie holds your hand in a way that I didn't like. That's my second mark against it.
Okay.
This movie should have allowed us to leave they should have allowed us to leave the movie wondering was everything we saw real?
Right.
You know what I mean? That wasn't the twist that I wanted. And it's weird to say, like, we love twists in movies, but this is the first time I've seen a movie where I was like, no, nigga. Like, you literally just said, all right, guys, gather around. We're going to tell you everything. And I'm like, no, you just took away the intrigue of the movie. Not only wasn't it wasn't scary. I mean, it had suspense. It had moments where I thought something was going to happen. But I'm like, you pretty much just made it very lukewarm. You could have had a very big splash. There were a few design choices in this movie where I felt like if you would have just focused on that or did a little bit more of this or give us something. But yeah, I think that were the only two marks against the movie. I think Hugh Grant did well. I think they did a good job of explaining, making you have to question religion itself, the origins of it, why you're so bound by it. It was a really good narrative. I'll give that. Good
Yeah.
horror movie. It wasn't scary. It wasn't a horror movie. Good narrative, yes. Yeah, that's pretty much my review of that.
What would you give it out of 10 if you had to give it a rating?
Oh, like a 6.9 to a 7. And that's
Yeah.
really only because I liked Hugh Grant.
That's
Like
pretty much
he
what
was
I
actually
said.
just
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, he was fun to just watch be on screen. Um, other than that, oh shit. Other than that, it was just pretty much like, all right, thanks for the movie.
You do bring up a good point with the whole, because again, we're not gonna spoil anything, but at some point in the movie, they do kind of explain the movie, I guess. There's kind of a point in the movie where they're like, they just it's like a reveal, the big reveal, basically. And I'm not gonna lie, Alex does bring up a good point. It might have been more interesting if they left it up to interpretation. There's some things that they do still leave up to interpretation, especially with the way that it ended. But as far as the big reveal goes, it might have been interesting if they maybe hadn't done that, or just did it a different way. But yeah, go check out Heretic, man. I think it's an enjoyable movie for what it is.
This streaming movie.
Yeah, I would say so. Something to watch at the crib with your girl,
Oh, let
or whoever.
me do my thing that Jack hates. If this came out on Netflix, this would have been amazing.
The funny part is, this would have been like a smash hit on Netflix, possibly.
On Netflix.
Yeah. See, you see what I'm saying? There's a reason I be saying that. Like niggas thought Bird Box was amazing. I'm like, this movie wasn't that great, but
Yeah,
it came straight to streaming. That's why we liked it so much. Like we didn't expect that, you know.
yeah,
Shout out to Sandra Bullock.
yeah. Shout out to her. I need that.
Yo,
Let's go ahead and finish up with Bonhoeffer, and then we can do Wicked and Gladiators too. So real quick, I haven't seen Bonhoeffer. I know it's semi-based on a true story. This is another like World War II type of movie. Basically, this is based on a true story. The synopsis is there is this man. His name is Dietrich Bonhoeffer. He is a preacher, I believe, a pastor. And somehow he gets recruited to be like essentially a spy, to go against the Nazis. And they, from what I understand, they kind of embellish, for the sake of the movie. They got to picture him with like a pistol in his hand and all that type of stuff. Just from the little bit of research I did, it's not quite like that. What actually happened in real life. He did help to fight against the Nazis. I think he did go undercover, type of thing like that. But the movie kind of portrays him almost like a John Wick. at least from the shit that I've seen. I haven't seen the movie, so
Nah.
we'll get Mafia's thoughts on it. But yeah, basically he's a pastor, and the true story is he helped go against the Nazis. He went undercover. He did some work to help take down the Nazis, and they made a movie about him. Mafia, what did you think about this film? Is there parts of this movie that are kind of like unrealistic, or for the most part, was it believable? Go ahead and just tell us everything.
So the whole spy stuff. So I really just got an email to get a free ticket to go see the movie, but so I haven't done my research on this actual person to see what was embellished and what was not. But from watching that movie, that whole spy stuff was like, from the way you described it, it was grossly embellished. Throughout the movie, yeah, there is parts where his brother-in-law was like, be our spy so we can try to take down Hitler. There was no him just like sneaking in and out of places, none of that kind of stuff. The movie starts from when he's a kid, and it kind of jumps back and forth between when he's captured and he's in prison to where he's getting to back in the past where he's getting to that point to where he's learning about God, he's in America, he's with black people, he's learning about the church and God and all that. He's learning about racism in America. And then he comes back to Germany and realizes like he thinks everything's all sweet, but then they're trying to tell him no. Hitler's got this group and he's gaining a lot of power. And then he sees that power taking over the church, which offends him. So he's trying to go against all that. But no, there is no element of him being a spy. There is no gun. He's not whooping ass. Nothing like that. The movie really skims, like, it does not really touch a lot of the spy stuff. There's this one scene where he comes in a room and the guy was like, so you're finally on our side now. And he's like, yeah. What do you need me to do to prove myself? Or I just need you to take these Jews to this location. So it was
Damn.
it's an interesting movie. I didn't take down notes, so this isn't going to be the best review. But if you're someone who's interested in like history, like getting a German's perspective, a German who was against Hitler's views, who chose the path of religion, I think you will probably be interested in seeing this movie. But just for somebody who's going expecting John Wick and all this, do not go. You will not get that. You will leave this movie pissed.
So that's what I was going to ask you. Is there a lot of action in this movie, or is it just more on like the historical side?
It's more on the historical religious side because this movie,
Okay.
Bonhoeffer, he is very religious. So there was like I think one part in the movie where he kind of chose violence, but it's no John Wick, nothing like that. Do not expect any kind of. There's no action movie elements really.
Well, I got a question for y'all.
Go for it.
Go ahead, baby.
How many like concepts do y'all think that there are that are like a evergreen tree? Like I feel like a movie about Hitler, we're gonna get a movie about Hitler no matter for the rest of all time. Like Inglorious Bastards, this movie. I feel like we always gonna get a Hitler movie, and I think people will always want to see Hitler get killed or Hitler get hunted. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
surprised we haven't got a movie about from Hitler's perspective. Maybe that might be too far left. That
There is a
studios
movie.
won't
There is a
do.
movie like that.
Oh, what's that? What?
You remember the movie with the meme with Hitler like that
Oh, I didn't know that was a biopic. I didn't know that was from
yeah
Hitler's
that no
perspective.
that was a movie following him.
I did not know that. I thought that was like
Yep.
a comedy, and they just wanted to make it
No.
like okay.
That yeah, well that it just the meme is more popular than the movie now, which is funny. But yeah, that's
Oh,
why
he's like
everything.
99999.
That's a real movie. Yeah,
Wow, I thought that was a skit or some shit. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, like
That was
how
long as
many?
shit too.
I
Like
feel
3 or
like we
4
got
hours.
that. I feel like we got Hitler is one that will forever be a thing. I well, I don't know. You can't. Some shit is never gonna happen. Like they're not gonna make another Titanic movie. I don't think. Like that's a one shot. You know what I mean? I don't know. I be trying to think of like every time I see a Hitler movie, I'm like, damn, they don't never get sick of this nigga.
Here's the thing though. Hitler was only, I think, in this movie like for one scene that was probably a minute at best, if I'm
Oh
remembering
wow.
correctly. They say his name all throughout the movie. Like after you get through Bonhoeffer's like a child part of the movie where he's a kid, but yeah, you only see Hitler like once in the movie.
But yeah, Alex
And
that's a good point. I mean, it's kind of like how we keep getting games set in World War II. It's always going to be something to make a story out of.
I just want to throw in a little side note. If anybody's still a little sensitive about the whole little political stuff that went down in America this month, there is a very small little subsection about little politics in the movie where there are some real life correlations to it. So if you're still feeling some type of way, just know that going in. But it's only for a few minutes and it's not really the whole movie. But you will see some real life correlations if you catch my drift.
It's not gonna hurt. I'm gonna just put a little bit of a finger in. That's what that sounded like. But good
Yeah.
review, man.
I get a movie like for me it's like a D plus because like I said,
Damn,
it's
that's your
not a
second D of the night.
pause.
Yeah, they
It's
kind of just from the promotional stuff, it was kind of misleading a little bit.
yeah, had I probably seen if I probably had the information you had, I'd probably drop it lower for lying to me, but I went into this movie completely blind. I just got an
For
email saying,
lying to
"Hey,
me.
you want free tickets?" I thought the movie was historically interesting, but yeah, that's about it.
Niggas said for lying to me. Yo, is he?
Were you in here when Wonton described the movie?
Nah, I've been in and out of my phone, but that's funny.
Yeah, when
I ain't never
Wonton
heard
was
niggas say this movie
describing it,
lied to me.
when Wonton was describing, I'm like, what the hell? Who the hell put this out there?
They
Yeah, I
made it
watched
seem
the
like
whole
it was an
fucking
action
movie.
movie, bro. Even the subtitle of the movie, it's like Bonhoeffer, spy, assassin. Like that's a subtitle. It's on the poster.
It's like
And
Hitler, James Bond.
they got a picture of him holding a gun.
I don't even think I don't. I'm trying to think. I don't think I remember seeing him hold a gun in the movie. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I don't remember him holding a gun in the movie.
Hey, another random question. Speaking of expectations of a movie, can y'all think off the top of your head like a movie that shocked you the most because you went in not knowing a single thing about it? I can go first. I saw The Prestige without knowing a single thing about that movie. I didn't know what. I just walked into my granny house and then the movie started playing, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And The Prestige, y'all know that got a big twist at the end. That might have been the last movie that I watched with no comment, with no prior knowledge, and was like, "Wow, I'm so glad I watched that movie."
That's most movies for me.
It's been a while. Shit.
I mean, just off the top of my head, I felt that way about a lot of movies. Whiplash, even Interstellar. That's my favorite movie. But when that movie first came out, I was still young. I was still like 18,
We
turning
was in high school
19.
when Interstellar came out.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I saw a trailer, but I didn't do much research at that time. So that movie blew me away first time I saw it in the theater. But yeah, go ahead, Tyrant.
Trying to think. Damn. I think Pirates of the Caribbean when that first came out. I don't know what the fuck, because I didn't know that was even a franchise before that movie came out. So
Yeah,
and then I didn't know what the fuck. I was like, what kind of fucking pirate movie? Because I was younger. Pirates wasn't like a big deal growing up to me. Like it wasn't like um the other genres of movie. Like pirates are definitely on the totem pole on the bottom in terms of that shit. Like
Yeah.
people like samurais and other shit more, ninjas and shit. Like pirates are at the bottom. So when Pirates of the Caribbean came out, that shit was like like that shit was like the summer blockbuster. Like define what like a summer blockbuster was supposed to be like, at least in the
Yeah.
2000s. So
Felt like a cultural reset. Like that felt like
yeah. It was
when
like
we
a
was kids,
watershed
bro,
moment. Yeah, we're like
man,
that movie kind of determined what the action movies of the whole 2000s was.
yo,
Or
Civil
was
those
War.
bro.
2010s.
You know how many franchises we got as kids, bro? We had Shrek, Pirates of the Caribbean, Monsters. Like we had
Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
Harry Potter. Yeah, all that shit came out when we was kids.
yeah, and around the same time too. It was like all around the same time, like
Yeah.
back to back. So yeah,
well,
Dang,
appreciate
bro.
the
We
review.
really fell off.
Appreciate the review, Mafia.
No problem.
Let's go ahead and finish up. We have two more reviews. Hopefully, if Saint is able to make it, we can double back and get his reviews of some of the stuff we've already covered. But let's go ahead and jump into Wicked. Real quick, which one of y'all have seen Wicked?
I think it's just me.
No, I saw it.
Oh, okay.
Me, Alex, and Quad.
Okay, I know Ray Pay was supposed to go see it, but something came up. So we can go into the review real quick. Let me just set it up. So this movie is actually based on the hit Broadway play. I don't know how long the play has been like going on. Like
I
I
think it's
don't
like
know.
20 years. 20 or 30 years.
I just I would because I just remember I've heard about it over the years. People talking about how good it is and everything like that.
Yeah.
But just essentially, just to give some background, this is based on a play. Essentially, from what I gather, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, this kind of gives like a backstory to the witches from the Wizard of Oz. The good witch and the evil witch kind of talks about like how they became, what they became. This is supposed to be like before the whole Dorothy situation, and it takes place in Oz, and it's a musical. So there's that. Real quick, this movie, from what I've seen, they said it's already past 100 million. The movie just came
Damn.
out. Just came out.
What was the budget?
Already past 100 million. Let me check real quick the budget. Budget was 150.
Damn, that's cheap, low key.
Well,
So-
what do you say the budget was?
150.
150. Which is actually pretty cheap.
Nigga,
That's
they
actually
made
pretty
100
cheap.
million back in one weekend. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
That's crazy. This movie to do numbers, dog.
Hey, one time thought Gladiator was gonna do better than it.
I never said that. I don't know
You
where he did
did.
this.
Yes,
I
you did.
never said that.
Yes, you did. Once I was like, Gladiator's gonna kill this shit. Fuck this movie. I'm like, okay.
But
Gonna kill it.
yeah, the movie's is from what I've seen, the reviews are great for it, at least on Rotten Tomatoes. It's doing insanely well in the theater. I saw Gladiator yesterday. There was a lot of people there to see Gladiator, but there was even more people to see Wicked. Theaters are packed
Yeah.
out. Some people are saying their theaters are sold out. So this is like a big event film for a lot of people. And it's a musical. You know, musicals always seem to do well around the holidays. But yeah, again, this is kind of set in the world of Wizard of Oz, but it tells the story of the two witches and everything like that. I'll go ahead and let them get into the reviews. Who want to set it off? Alex, you want to set it off for Wicked?
Yeah, sure. I saw the play back in I think I was in high school. I had to do I was in the theater class, and we had to for the semester you had to go see at least one play, and it just so happened to be the one that was in my city. So it was cool, man. I think a lot of people ain't gonna like it if they don't like music and singing. Like I've had about 2 or 3 people hit me up and say how much singing is in it, and then when I tell them like, nigga, you're gonna be sitting there like it's gonna be musical numbers. You can't you can't not get out of it. It's based off a musical. I had a few people be like, yeah, okay, well I'm not gonna see it. So go into it knowing, just like The Wiz, just like Joker. If it's one song too many, do not go see this movie because it's gonna annoy you. Um, Damn, they got they got PS5 Pros just in Walmart. What the fuck,
What?
nigga? I just came down the game aisle and they just got like 2 or 3 PS5 Pros just sitting in the glass. My bad.
Keep it cinema, Alex.
Yeah.
Nah, but it was a cool little movie, bro. This is the first time I've seen Ariana Grande act since Disney, I think. So she is literally acting the exact same way I saw her act. And what was that show she's in? Glorious? Or what was
Victorious.
it?
Victorious from
Victorious.
Nickelodeon. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they literally casted it and said, okay, we want the witch to be bubbly, airhead, self-absorbed, yada yada yada. And they went, oh, I got the perfect person, Ariana,
And she could sing.
and she can sing. So, what can I say? I mean, you know what vibe this movie gave me? It gave me the same vibes as Barbie, like the humor type. It's supposed to be slapstick, but in a cutesy way. Um, it doesn't really challenge too much. I mean, if anything, the play as a story is just an analogy for uh, the typical "don't judge a book by its cover." That's literally what it is. One thing I really do like about this movie is that because Elphaba is a black actress, her hair in the film was like micro braids. They allowed her to have plaited hair, plaited braids. Like I love that they didn't try to strip away her features. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Like there's been some movies where they'll give the black woman like some straight hair weave, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they didn't do that. Like the first scene, I'm like, oh, she got micro braids. I'm like, nigga, no, she had to go get her hair done. They had to do her hair for that. That's not a wig. You know what
Are
I
you
mean?
sure?
So, well, it might be in wig because I think she bald now.
Yeah,
But
she's bald.
regardless, the optic of it is that her hair wasn't something that was an oversight. Like this is a black character. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
This is a black woman playing this character. So I felt like, oh, I'm glad that they paid attention to that. Honestly, if you didn't see the play, if you don't really have the patience for singing, if you feel like this is a girls' movie, uh, you're not gonna like it. It's cool. It was a nice little watch. It's long as fuck. I did not know that this was part one, nigga. Because I've seen the play, I was going through the beats of the movie, and I'm like, damn, nigga, I've been here for 2 hours. They haven't even done like I know what how the play ends. So I'm like waiting. I'm like, how they gonna wrap this up? And lo and behold, part or it was like to be continued. I said, you motherfucker! I did
They're
not know they was
breaking the
gonna do this,
movie.
bro.
They're breaking the movie up.
The same feeling I
Yeah,
had
this
when
movie is a part one. They said.
I
So
didn't
it's
know
only
that
2 parts or 3 parts.
it's gonna be 2 parts. But this happened
Oh
to me
god.
with Mission Impossible. When Mission Impossible was going on, I was like, damn, how they gonna wrap this up? Part one. I'm like,
Talking about the last movie. The last movie had a definitive ending. Let's not do that.
fam, Mission Impossible it's been broken up into 2 parts.
Okay, but it didn't leave you feeling like you was missing
Yes,
something.
it did,
No, it didn't.
fam.
I
We're
mean,
not
he
going to
didn't.
Nigga,
start.
He
even
didn't. He didn't
Tom
stop the AI villain.
He didn't stop. It's
Okay,
literally
okay,
a
but it
part two
still
to
had
finish the movie.
it still wasn't like that. What you talk about, nigga? Tom Cruise
Nigga,
even said he made the ending like that, so don't feel like they walked out too disappointed.
nigga, it was already a 5-hour movie. Like, I don't know, man. Like I said, it was a cool little movie. It's
Bad
nothing to.
take. Watch your mouth
It's a
speaking
good
on
little.
Mission Impossible.
Look at you. You love your white daddies, nigga. Like I said, it was a good movie. Cool.
Crazy coming from a
It's
quacker.
not. It's. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, that and my last part. Why the fuck is CGI in Wicked better than the past 3 or 4 Marvel movies? This is the shit I be talking about. The CGI was better in this. Ain't they? This ain't a Disney movie, is it? What studio house
It
did
is
this
a
movie?
Disney movie.
Eh?
So why isn't Marvel getting the same money or time? Maybe because they churning the movies out. But my nigga, what is that?
Universal put out this
Oh,
movie.
Oh, Universal. I thought it was Disney. You sure? What the hell?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
what? Who's the studio house?
Universal.
Universal.
I thought it was
Niggas,
Disney.
Hey,
Oh shit.
Disney need to hire them. My phone got 5%, so I'm gonna hop back on here in like a little bit
All right.
when I get back to the crib. All right.
So real quick, I want to ask the other ones that I've seen at Keystone and Mafia before we jump into the other reviews. I've been seeing online some people have been mentioning two things about this movie as far as complaints. One of the things is some people feel like the movie, as far as like the visuals, they're saying the colors are kind of dull and not as vibrant. Did y'all feel that way watching this movie?
No.
Not at all.
Okay.
No, I believe the movie was very colorful. Their performances, when Ariana's performing and the pink is just taking over the screen, and you can see, as the musical number, goes along, the pink continues to pretty much, take over the entire section of that, of that set. And then there are times where, Alphaba, is doing her musical number, and the green is just taking over, and you can just see the contrast between these two characters in the movie. But back to your question, no, I don't believe there's an issue with color or contrast or being a dull movie, as far as color wise.
Okay. Well, the second thing, and real quick, Mafia, how about you? You felt the same way? Colors good.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem with the colors.
Okay. Yeah, because for some reason I've been seeing some people say that, like they're saying the colors aren't that vibrant or whatever. But one other complaint I saw, and the director of the movie actually addressed this on Twitter. I saw his tweet. Some people were saying the volume was too low in their theater. Did y'all have any issues with sound for you when y'all saw it?
Nope.
Okay.
I saw the IMAX. I had issue with sound. Alex said he didn't have issue with sound. We talked about that. It could have been just my IMAX viewing. But there were times in the beginning, not so much as the middle and the latter part of the movie, but in the beginning, musical numbers, it was hard to hear what Ariana was saying, what she was singing. It was like it wasn't mixed properly, or maybe the volume wasn't edited properly. It was just the beats and the instrumental was just drawing out her voice and what she was singing. So it was hard to pick up what she was saying. But once it got past the beginning, 15 minutes, the singing and musical numbers, became more clear. As far as the actresses, and actresses' voices.
Yeah, because I saw the director. He even tweeted out. He was basically telling people that if they're having issues with sound, tell the theater to turn the volume up. Some people were against that. Like, no, you shouldn't do that because then it's going to cause issues for other people watching other movies. The sound might be too loud and it'll bleed into the theaters and all that other stuff. But just want to ask y'all because I've seen those two things on Twitter. So real quick, Kiso, since you are here, what did you think about Wicked?
Well, first of all, without spoilers, I'm going to say I give the movie 7 out of 10. I believe it is if you're interested in the movie, if you have even a slight interest, I would say watch it. However, I believe if you are not able to make it to the theater, or if you do have an issue with sitting through long movies, then go ahead and watch it at home. It's okay. I'm someone who didn't have any knowledge that it was a play. That this movie is based on the play, which the play is based on the novel Wicked, which the novel Wicked, as we know, is based on the novel A Wizard of Oz. My only knowledge was that, hey, this is a prequel to Wizard of Oz, and that's it. So I had no knowledge of the Broadway play. So when I found out, it kind of makes sense, to why the movie felt long and why I felt like, the movie should have had an intermission or maybe ended a bit sooner, just because, they're basing this from a play. So it made sense, plays have intermissions, you know, it has moments, to break certain sequences up. This movie didn't have that, so they had to cleverly find a way to move from, from scene to scene or from act to act, without the use, of an intermission. Overall, I think the movie was good. Ariana, I believe, she portrayed, the books version of Gwenda very well. The actress who played Elphaba, amazing job. I believe this movie handled, you know, the complexities of racism and just equality and betrayal or discrimination. Just I believe he handled those topics very well. There's going to be times where you really feel for the for Elphaba, where you really see like, dang, like, I'm rooting for this character, but I know their destiny. You know what I mean? Because you know how the story ends already because you've seen Wizard of Oz. Like what's going on. With Dorothy and everything, so you kind of know how it ends. Like I said, I never read the Wicked novel, nor saw the play. But we know how it all ends because Wizard of Oz. So you want this character to go against destiny, but at the same time, you kind of see the ebbs and flows of how things are going to shape out. But they still do it in a compelling way to make this character, a hero. You know what I mean? A hero. So I think they did a fantastic job at that. Um, I believe, this movie is worth the reviews, the high praise it's getting. The musical numbers are excellent. I do understand that, that they don't have any original numbers, that every song is from the play, but they do have a few original lines here and there. The musical performance, the dancing, the parkour, all of that is awesome. However, the lead, you can tell the leads, they don't really dance well. I don't even think. I think there's little dancing from Ariana and Elphaba. I forgot the lead actress name who plays Elphaba, but there's limited dancing from them. And even from the male lead, his dancing was subpar. It's okay, it's passable, but the background dancers they really performed and did their job, especially in this one parkour dancing section of the movie, where things are just moving, people are diving, and it's just phenomenal. But I do believe it's a good movie. Check it out if you have the time. Definitely, take your daughter, your family, anyone, and even if you're just a man going alone, I think it's a good movie with the message, that is well received and worth receiving.
Okay, but just to go back, you said you get us a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Like I said, the reason I gave it a 7 is because you felt the length of the movie because there's no intermission, and I could feel during the movie like, part of this shit been breaking up, but naturally you can't have an intermission during the movie. That's not how it works. They do it all in one sitting. Um, so you could feel the length of the movie, and even when the movie ended, I still wanted more because the story is that good, the performances are that good, the singing is that good. Everything about the production of this movie meets expectation, but you feel the length of the movie. You're like, man, I can feel how long this has been. I can feel every minute of that 2 hours and 45 minute runtime. I know it's there, but I still want to see how does this end? How does everything wrap up? How do we get from here to the Wizard of Oz? Story. Like, how do we go there? But at the same time, like, man, I could really use a break right now. I could really can I get up and stretch or go to the bathroom, get a slushy hot dog or something? That's why I said this movie would benefit from streaming. It'll benefit from being owned on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, because you'll be able to pause and do other things and then come back to it the same way you would do with the play, like the Broadway play. So that's why I give it a 7 out of 10. Without the runtime feeling it, I would easily get like an 8 or 9 out of 10 easily.
And
Will you be there for part two?
I'll be there for part two. I'll be seated day one for part two. And like I said, this is something I had no knowledge of. I didn't know this story. All I knew was that, hey, this is a prequel to The Wizard of Oz. This, by far, even part one, is better than Wizard of Oz, period.
Oh,
It's better to me. It's better than the Wiz. Also, the Wiz music and numbers are elite.
Whoa,
Michael Jackson.
No,
Oh, let me finish.
Whoa, slow you roll.
Like I said,
Wait
the
a
musical
minute.
numbers in the Wiz, of course, are legendary. You got Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, all that's going on, right? However, far as acting and the story and plot go, we know the Wiz is just a Motown version of a Devos. This Wicked storyline is something that is worth watching and taking in, either by book format or play or by movie. This should be experienced, and I see why theater kids and thespians. I see why they have such a high praise and gravitate towards this movie, towards this story. I can see why.
Okay. Real quick, what up, Saint? How you feeling, brother?
Not gonna lie, just experienced real cinema. I refilled my icy for free 99. We going crazy.
What movie did you see today?
Gladiator 2.
oh, you enjoyed it that much?
Yeah.
No, God.
Did you see Wicked, Saint? I can't remember if you saw it or not.
Nah, I didn't get a chance to watch none of that, and I really had no interest in watching that mug. But I'm gonna give it a shot because Kiso it convinced me, and Peggy been on my ass about watching.
Yeah,
so.
hey, I'm gonna go see it when you see it, buddy. We gonna go see it together.
Matter of fact, I'll watch it tomorrow for you, brother.
Joe King.
You got
Let's
time,
go ahead and
huh?
get Mafia's review. Mafia, how'd you feel about Wicked?
Oh, I was actually surprised about Wicked. I was not going in expecting to really like or really care about the movie because I don't really like musicals. But I will say this: I know Alex said if you're not really a musical person, probably just wait. But I would disagree. I think this movie has a good movie to music ratio to where I got enough of the story to the point to where once they start singing, it's like, okay, I can take a little quick mental break where they do this singing. The singing didn't last too long, just right. So when they got back to the story, I was back into it. And even in some of the songs, I may not mess with all of them. I can't appreciate that the music was good. Like Kiso was saying, the kind of dancing was kind of stiff to me, but man, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But good story. Now, like Kiso was saying, also the movie was kind of long. I think you probably could have sped up the whole process of Ariana and Alphaba kind of going from enemies to friend. You could have skimmed some of that fat, and that would have probably helped it. But still, a great story, good visuals, and I did not know this was based on a play or a book or any of that. So I thought this is possibly like a retelling of the story. Like I think the sequel is going to be different from whatever play you guys have been talking about. I think it may go in a new direction, just based on how it ended. Because you do, like Kiso was saying, you really do feel for Alphaba. And even though you know how the Wizard of Oz ends, I think they might try to go a different path with this one. Overall, I would probably give this I give it a B.
Oh, okay, that's the highest score tonight for me.
Indeed, I'm like I said, and it's something I want to ask you, Saint. Are we surprised at how dark some of the story was in this movie regarding? Like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, but as far as the the discrimination of a certain group of residents, of Oz, like were you surprised about just how dark it was and how they were changing things, and how they were going against a certain group.
Nah, I wasn't surprised. From the
Okay, that
trailers,
threw
I
me off
kind of knew.
guard.
Huh?
I say that through my see, and it's the thing. I watched much of the trailers. I didn't really see much of the trailers or promotional material. I just knew, hey, this movie is getting high praise. Let me check it out and see if it's worth it.
How was the
Man.
visuals?
Oh, good. The visual was
It was
good.
good, but like Alex said, but the CGI was phenomenal, dog. The colors, the CGI, the way they did flying, and the music and number when they when flight is achieved. Oh my gosh!
You
Is that
cried?
from Quad Cinema?
Yeah, it was
Pure
cinema.
cinema.
Did you cry, Mafia cry? Because these soft ass nigga Alex and Keith said they shed a tear or two.
Yeah, I shed a tear. Absolutely.
I didn't cry, but like I was telling you before the podcast started, while this movie may not have been for me per se, compared to something like Inside Out 2, I think this movie hit a little bit more for me.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
You heard him, bro. This
Damn, so
movie is better than
is this
Inside
movie?
Out 2.
I was getting ready to ask.
It's better than Inside Out 2, and I know that's crazy because I gave Inside Out 2 a higher grade, but that's only because, like I said, runtime, dog. And I enjoy Inside Out 2. Inside 2 had a great message. Is when Pixar's back with Inside Out 2. So that movie, I'm gonna give us flowers. I'm gonna give us just due. But this Wicked movie, and it may be because I'm unfamiliar, with the works already, provided as far as plays and Broadways and the novel and et cetera, et cetera. This introduced me into a level of, hey, you know what? Musicals can tell an enriching story that deals with so many complexities, that we deal with in real life, while also, putting it in a format in a medium that is still entertaining, while also, making sure, to at least for the viewer to try to get from act to act, at a decent pacing level, if that makes sense. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not. I'm big on spoilers. I want everyone to enjoy this movie, and to be able to take it in. Just the way I received it. False. Um, but just to go in, with as little knowledge as possible, aside from what you may saw as far as trailer and promotional material, just to go in there and see like, wow, like they're really touching on these subjects, and it may help because Alphaba is played by a black woman. Like Alex, mentioned earlier. It's easy to see, how someone has been judged and critiqued, and pretty much just been, counted against because of the color of their skin, and then having to fight through adversity because of that. So having all this latent talent and potential, but still being cast aside just because you're a certain color, and dealing with that, as you not only go from childhood, to teenage and adolescence and adult is just something that this movie is able to just deliver. And if that doesn't touch your soul, then I don't know if I can call you a human or not. You know what I mean? That's easy. It's just easy right there. You know what I mean? And just also this, just to feel for this character, how they're able to burden so much, just to carry so much weight from childhood to life, for just feeling responsible for the way their life even though there was nothing they could do about it and it wasn't their fault. Just to see them try to take all of that in, and still be there for their family, and try to, seek the, just try to seek the praise from people, knowing it's never going to happen.
Validation.
Thank you, man. Like I said, this movie, it handles all that while also being a musical. I'm telling you, this movie is worth it, man. And I would have loved to see the play New York Broadway. I would love to experience that in person because, like I said, this movie is, as Quad says, cinema. If you're a movie guy, movie man, whatever you are, if you claim to be someone who's into movies, who's not just into Marvel stuff, or the Unga Bunga movies, or the let me go see this Pixar. If you're into movies, period. If you're someone who's passionate about film, passionate about the theater experience, passionate about keeping this industry alive with these unique storytelling methods, I implore you to go see this movie.
Kiso, you are doing the Lord's work right now.
He's speaking facts, though.
And I just want to say this, Kiso.
What's up?
You turned me. I can't wait to see this movie. I can't wait to watch this.
He's not going to see this movie.
I can't wait to watch this. Oh my god!
He's putting on green body paint right now.
Oh my god!
Wait. Person we shouldn't be,
You
we
can get
shouldn't be
a
doing
Ordered
that
a
one
large
time.
hat too.
The person who we should be encouraging to go see the movie is Tarek.
Oh yeah.
Oh, facts.
Tarek probably asleep. You up, Tarek?
I'm here. I'm here.
Tarek evil ass can't watch the movie like this.
Why? The
Nigga
fuck?
might melt in the
Tarek
chair.
is
I'm not evil.
You tell somebody to die like every.
Tarek
So do you.
Tarek is kind of like Piccolo.
No, I don't.
So he might like it.
I think Tarek would like it.
Because he green.
Yeah,
too.
you say Tarek Piccolo, just angry as fuck. But Tarek then wished like 5 niggas to die in the past 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's fire.
I will say this, Kiso.
Neil Druckmann, Logic, Drake.
I
What did
want
Bobby
Logic to
do to
die.
you?
I don't want Logic to die. Fuck.
He named-
This is
I
Drake.
know I'm missing some people. but,
Drake
yeah.
can kick the bucket.
My goodness.
Oh, you
Taika
you say
Taika
Scott Ridley? You
Waititi.
say Scott Ridley too?
Anime list.
Oh yeah, Ridley Scott. Yeah, no,
Yeah, I say
Ridley
Scott
Scott
Ridley.
did
Ridley
not.
Scott,
He don't
yeah.
need to die. He just need to expire.
Real quick, I do want to point
Die,
this
that's
out.
die, nigga. What the hell?
I mean,
So you gave the movie high praises, but you gave it a 7,
Yeah,
brother.
for a 7.
You gave it a
it's not
7,
really
bro.
adding
So I
up.
don't know.
Yeah.
Don't let the score.
A 7 is better than Inside Out, brother. Come on.
Don't let the score dissuade you from how powerful this movie is. You understand?
What?
That's like you getting an Emmy pretty in perspective, okay? But for a way you may understand it, on a more macro level, okay? That's like you say, for instance, you get a maybe like a C plus on a trigonometry or calculus test.
Okay.
But your C plus is one of the highest grades received because that test was so rigorous. It was so hard.
So
that
84.
class, what I'm saying? So like that class really got everybody, it pushed everybody, it pushed everybody down. But let me tell you what, fire, helps refine, rock to gold, you know what I mean? And that's this movie. You know what I'm saying? Pressure makes diamonds, and that's this movie. This movie has become my second favorite movie of the year, with Dune 2 still being the best movie of the year by far.
And you gave it a 7?
But that's a different. Listen, I only gave it a 7 because I'm being objective, and I don't want to, be biased. I want to be objective to the viewers.
Okay.
To the average person. Because listen, I'm not a thespian or a movie guy, but at the same time, I'm a movie. I just want who goes to the movie maybe more than the average person, and I understand how it feels to sit in a 2-hour and 45-minute movie and be like, what, dang, like, what, I did wish it go by a little faster. I did wish I didn't feel every minute of this movie, and that's why I'm gonna give it a 7. So I'm not only critiquing the movie, I'm also judging the entire movie experience as a whole. That's how I review the movies.
Keys, what do you give it personally?
Personally, like I said, my second movie of the year. I think that speaks, volumes.
So I'm telling you, if you wasn't trying to be objective, what you giving it?
I told you it's a better movie than Inside Out. It's a second movie. It's my
so okay.
So it's like
there's no better
movie.
movie.
That means like a 9 to you, then, right?
There's no better movie except Dune 2 than this movie this year.
Inside Out better than Dune 2.
Over Challengers? Oh,
nigga, Twisters is better than Doom.
Challengers has moved
y'all
to
gonna
number
piss
3.
me off. Stop bringing up Challengers. Y'all act like y'all ain't never
Alex,
seen the
Alex, you are Zendaya hater, brother. Shut your mouth.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Zendaya gets an Oscar for this movie.
Oh my god, I'm going back mute.
Mind you, Alex didn't watch the movie, so he just yapping.
Yeah, he is yapping.
Know your role, jabroni.
He is giving an opinion based off ignorance, but that's okay.
I think
that's what the weapon wheel niggas tend to do.
Huh?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
No, y'all wanted to switch places with Zendaya and get railed. That's y'all problem. I'm not like
you. You need to watch the movie, brother. You need to watch the movie because you don't know what you're talking about.
That wanted to get nigga, let's talk about that, nigga.
Alphabet look
green
fine.
skin had you.
Facts.
Brick.
Alphabet was beautiful. What you talking about?
Transformers 1 is better than
Elfie.
And also, it's like Alex enjoyed this movie too. He
I like this movie.
I gave it a 7.5. That's what I'm saying.
I've seen the play. I came into it like, okay, let me see what.
And I heard you ugly cry too, bro.
Yep, he said yeah.
Okay, so you want to talk about it? Like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah, let's talk about you.
Yeah. I cried twice in this movie. And it's a personal thing I'm working on. Since Woman King, I cannot see black women cry in film, or I will cry. I don't know what is going on, but anytime I see a black woman on the movie start crying, I tear up. It's like I see the generations of pain. I don't know.
You want to be one so bad.
I could tell y'all the exact scene I cried to, bro. It was a scene
I know
when they was dancing.
Yeah.
It was a scene when they was dancing, and it was a scene when
at the end.
So nah, it was a scene where some look. Oh yeah, it was at the end. It was at the end. But that's only because like I can't help it, bro. Like I can see some stuff that's like objectively sad and be like, oh okay, cool. But once I start, I don't know, I can't do it.
Listen, like I said, if that made you cry, Wild Robot gonna have you.
I don't want to spend too much time on this. I do want to get to hear y'all for Gladiator too. I'm just saying this. If y'all complaining about Marvel movies always taking over the screenings, y'all complaining about Mission Impossible, the next Uncle Bunga this and that. If y'all complain about all these other movies, but y'all don't want to support something like this, then you're the problem. So don't complain about ABC, but you don't want to, but you don't want to be the part of change. You know what I mean? Complain about $1, but you don't make sense. You know what I mean? Come on, man. See the movie. Check it out. It's worth your time.
Do not let the musical aspect stop you. Again, I
Please
don't like
don't.
musicals,
Please.
but I mess with the movie.
I'm telling you, this is the best musical I've seen since La La Land, and I really enjoy La La Land a lot.
Interesting.
And I won't be surprised if they try to find a way to nominate both Ariana and the actress who played Elphaba for both leading actress. I don't know if that's possible. If they can, have two leading actresses from the same movie at the Oscars, for that nomination. But I wouldn't be surprised if they try to have both nominated for leading actress, or maybe have Elphaba for leading actress and Ariana for a supporting actress. I wouldn't be surprised. And this movie is definitely winning the Oscar for costume design.
Hollywood love musicals. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the the Oscar for costume design. I guarantee you.
Fire. So yeah, are y'all done with Wicked?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Movie just came out, so if you haven't seen it, go check that out.
What time are you gonna go see it?
No. I'll see Wicked when Alex watches Challengers in Civil War.
It's just not gonna happen in his lifetime.
Bro, I don't want to see Civil.
You don't want to see. You don't want to see good
fucking
movies. That's
hater.
what you don't want to see good movies.
Yeah, literally.
You can
You
watch
don't watch
them
no
at
fucking
home
movies
now.
for real. Like what?
Damn shame.
I try to watch the least amount of movies out of all the movie guys, if you're being real.
I've watched over 55 films this year.
I've watched over 80.
In your dreams, nigga. The fuck?
Saint, since you're back, is there anything you want to review real quick before we jump over to Gladiator?
No, brother.
All right, bet. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into Gladiator. Gladiator 2. We'll finish up with this. Real quick, did everybody in here see it?
I think so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think Kiso, did you get a chance to see it yet? Probably not, huh?
Nah, it's okay. But I want to see y'all reviews anyway. I'm very curious to see y'all different takes.
Oh shit! Wait. I do gotta put respect on the GOAT's name. How did I forget, man? I'm a fake ass fan. Afro Samurai Steelbook remaster of the show and the movie Afro Samurai Resurrection is out now. It's a good remaster. I would just say there's a little bit of issues when it comes to like the audio. It's like a slight issue, but that's just due to age. But go check that out, man. Yeah.
Okay, bet.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we can get into Gladiator real quick. I'll just set up the synopsis. So this movie is a sequel to the first film, right? It has characters from the first film. It has plot lines that are carried over from the first film. So it is a sequel. I will say it's one of those situations where it's a sequel, but at the same time, it's almost like a remake. And we'll get into that as well. We're gonna keep it spoiler free, y'all. This shit just came out. But yes, it is a sequel. So to keep that in mind, if you want to go see it, it does follow some of the events from the first film. Just to give you a synopsis, the main character played by Paul Mescal, he plays a character named Hano. I think that's how you say it, Hano. Essentially, he is a soldier in an African country called Numidia. They get taken over by Rome, and basically he is similar to the first movie. He becomes a slave, then he becomes a gladiator, and he's fighting for his freedom. But there are some story elements that come into play where you kind of learn his backstory. I will tell you, it's kind of, because I pulled up a synopsis. The synopsis kind of tells you, but I feel like it's kind of a spoiler because they don't really tell you in the trailers, I feel like. So I'm not going to mention it. But
You talking about the little plot twist?
well, yeah, it just kind of like his backstory. They don't really make it very clear in the trailers. So I feel like if I say it, it's kind of like giving it away too much. But it's also at the same time, it's not really a secret. Like when
It's
you
not
watch the
so
movie,
secret.
you'll figure it out pretty quick. But
Pretty easily.
long story short, it's similar to the first movie, right? Soldier becomes a slave, slave becomes a gladiator, and he's trying to get revenge because they killed his wife. It's literally almost exactly the same as the first movie, but they introduced some new elements as well. We'll go ahead and get into the reviews for Gladiator 2. I'll start mine off real quick. I won't be long-winded. When they first announced this movie right away, my feeling was this movie is going to have great visuals, great action, but I don't think the story will be as good as the first film. And now that I've seen it, it's exactly that to me. Great action, great visuals, very, very entertaining in a lot of scenes, especially when Denzel is acting. He's very good in this movie. The action sequences are very enjoyable to me. I saw it in IMAX too, so it was kind of fun to see it out on the big screen like that. But story-wise, in my opinion, not as good as the first movie. Story-wise, the first movie is considered a classic, right? I don't think this movie is anywhere near a classic. I don't think this movie will stand the test of time like the first movie did. And then going back to my previous comment, it's a sequel, but it's also in a lot of sense a remake. It has it has almost the exact same story beats from the first movie, just with some added elements. They bring back, there's a lot of callbacks to the first movie with like quotes. They even recreate certain scenes. They recreate certain dialogue. So it's a lot of that, right? A lot of callbacks, a lot of recreating things from the first film. Which in a way is cool. It's a little bit of fan service, but it also, in my opinion, kind of takes away from the movie. I'm getting to a point where I don't really like when movies rely so heavily on callbacks. That was one of my biggest complaints with Alien Romulus. I just feel like it's being overdone now in Hollywood with movies and TV shows. It's kind of like enough is enough. I need to see more new shit, more new ideas. But that's just me. Going back to the overall film, there's been some complaints with Ridley Scott as far as how he's like hit or miss, which I've been saying as well. I think this movie is good. It's a lot better than Napoleon. I did not like Napoleon at all. This movie to me is way better than Napoleon. But this movie also kind of has this is more of a nitpick, but it has some of the similar issues with Napoleon in that like people complained about the historical accuracy. There's some parts about Gladiator 2 that kind of have that same issue. And again, it's more of a nitpick. It's really not a big deal.
Yeah, niggas had newspapers in this movie.
That's what I was going to say. There's just noticeable shit. Like there's a scene where a guy's reading a newspaper over 1,000 years before the printing press was invented. They didn't have newspapers. They filled the Colosseum with water and sharks. That was in the trailer. Cool scene, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that they said that never fucking happened. Denzel, great actor in this movie. The nigga has a New York accent the whole film.
Dog.
So just
have the power.
Just stuff like that.
That's not true.
It is true. He doesn't switch up his voice at all. He's Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
true.
Pedro.
Nobody in the film has an accent.
Nah, Pedro definitely had an accent.
Yeah, Pedro's the only one. Is the only one who actually had a good accent. That's
Wait,
okay,
y'all saying
let's
my fault. Go ahead, Wonton. My fault.
Let's let Wonton finish, but just to say, there's something that as English viewers, bro, like in the film when it was like he doesn't speak our native tongue and he's like I speak all the languages, but of course as English speakers, no matter what they say is going to translate to English. So I don't think we can make that a mark against Denzel.
It's not a mark against Denzel. It's a mark against the director because Ridley Scott is known for doing this in his movies. He does not care about historical accuracy and he does not care about accents, right? Because all his movies, and we can compare this to other movies set in historical times. A lot of the time, they will have actors trained to do a certain accent. Ridley Scott never does that. Napoleon, none of the people have French accents. Fucking Joaquin Phoenix don't have no type of accent. He's just Joaquin Phoenix. And it's the same thing in this movie. None of the actors have, well, I guess I said none, but most of the actors don't really have accents. They don't have Italian accents, Roman accents, Greek accents, none of that. They just sound however the fuck they sound. So it's not like I'm knocking on Denzel. I'm just more speaking on the fact that really Scott is known for doing this in his movies, where he does not require his actors to do any sort of like research and changing their dialogue or their tone or their accent. But again, that's more of a nitpick. It doesn't ruin the movie. It's just something I'm pointing out. But yes, one thing I will say just to kind of wrap it up. Again, story wise, I don't think this movie is as strong as the first one, but it's still enjoyable in some parts. Denzel easily carries the movies out of all the actors. I feel like he was the best performance in this film. The Emperors, the two actors that played the Emperors, I thought they did well. But again, they didn't really like blow me away, but they did well. Even Paul Mescal, who plays the Gladiator in this film, he's a good actor. Like, he's a good actor. He did his thing, but in my opinion, he don't have nowhere near the aura, the level of performance or the aura that we got from Russell Crowe in the original. He don't have it. Not at all. He don't have it. And somebody pointed this out on Twitter. They said watching Gladiator 2 pointed out the difference between an actor and a movie star. And I understood what they meant. Paul Mescal as the lead, good actor, but he's not, in this movie, he's not a movie star. He don't have that star quality like Denzel has or like Russell Crowe had in the first film. Again, I'll keep it spoiler free, but those are my general thoughts about the movie. Overall, as far as a rating, this movie to me is probably, if the first movie is like a 8 or a 9, this movie to me is about a 7 or a 7.5. Enjoyable for what it is. Enjoyable fight scenes. Denzel is great to watch on the screen, but I also don't think I will watch this again. I have no reason to watch this again. I have no reason to watch this movie ever again.
Okay.
You're
you all in this.
Oh, you love this movie. This is amazing to you.
No, the opposite. What the fuck? I thought he was ass. Oh, I guess I'll do my review next.
Shit.
Go ahead, Tarek. Go ahead.
I gave this movie a 5 out of 10. I'm gonna get that out of the way first. I'm gonna kind of give background. So Gladiator 1, to me, the first Gladiator is a damn near perfect movie, 10 out of 10. That's like in my top 10 movies of all time. That shit like changed my fucking like perception on certain like how historical movies like we're going to be done in the future. And like we got so much movies like Gladiator because of Gladiator. So it's a very important movie to me. I don't understand why based on what we've seen in this movie, I don't understand why this movie was made. They said that in one of these interviews that it's tied up to loose ends. I'm like, there was no loose ends at the end of the movie. The ending was the ending. I just don't see the point. Like the story, the plot was just unnecessary. It doesn't justify itself. It doesn't like enhance the first movie. To be honest, I just wish I don't even consider this just like canon to the first movie at all. Just because it doesn't make any sense. The whole storyline with Lucius and how Lucius got to be where he's at now. I know we can't. I'm not trying to spoil the movie, but I'm like, dog, that wasn't really a plot point in the first movie that people cared about for you to make a whole movie about.
Yeah.
It was just a waste of time. Like I think there was a good movie in there. Like I wish, to be honest, they focused more on the Emperors. I thought they had some potential to be good villains. I felt like they got overshadowed by Denzel being there, but I feel like they didn't even get enough time to marinate. And I'm gonna say this. This movie had like 8 different plot lines going on at the same fucking time. And they just don't have enough time to actually marinate at all. And the movie's 2 hours and 30 damn minutes. So that's a long ass time. And they have so much plot lines back and forth. With Lucius's mom, Lucius's what's it, the commander, Pedro Pascal's character. Then you have Denzel in the background. Then you have the Emperor's own thing. And no one gets enough time to actually like cook. So to me, I'm just like, okay, the movie's just jumping back and forth, and it ends. In between that, there's like the gladiator fights to kind of like fill in the rest of the spaces. But like the part that I think people don't get about the first movie, yes, did we like the fights? The fights were cool, but it was in between. It was a dialogue between the characters, like the relationships built and stuff like that. The tension, all that in this movie is just so rushed. And for a movie that's 2 hours and 30 minutes, I don't see how that was possible, because we just barely get to know the dude's wife. Like we see like the beginning of the movie, but like I feel like in the Gladiator we get more of like a insight on the Gladiator's family, even though they weren't really present in the movie, than we do with him and his wife in this movie. And then none of the characters feel like they know each other. It's like they meet, they talk, and they agree, and then they die. I'm like, all right, cool. Like it's like there's no conflict going back and forth. There's no buildup. It's just point A to point B, and that's it. So I don't understand. Like maybe they needed to cut some plot points off. It was just too many characters. It was way too many characters. And having Denzel there, it was too much, because it's like, who's the real villain? To be honest, I didn't know what Denzel's motivations were until like they happened. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So there's no build up.
Attention, man.
There was just no build up to that though. He didn't out. He just kept saying, "I want power. I want power." I'm like, all right, dog. What does that really mean to you? So to me, versus like if you take that and compare it to the first movie, which I'm gonna keep doing that like throughout the review, because you really have no other recourse but to compare it to the first movie. Like it's impossible. It just fails in all aspects that the first movie like was good on. Russell Crowe as the main protagonist, like he was the absolute protagonist of the fucking movie. In this movie, I couldn't really tell who the protagonist was, because to me, none of it felt earned for any of them, because I just didn't have enough time to like actually marinate and get to know the characters. I just felt like the movie had horrible pacing, and they needed to slow things down and use that 2 hours and 30 minutes to actually flesh the characters out. I just felt like it was just too fast, and it was just a whole bunch of filler. They had all the cool battles, and that was fine. But at the end of the day, I think people were more looking towards having like that dynamic between the characters. We just didn't get those character moments like we did in Gladiator 1, like with the Emperor doing the thumb thing, like putting his thumb up or down. Like you don't get those moments like that slow down in this film. It's everything just it's like high octane, and they flip, and then high octane, and it just keeps going like that for 2 hours and 30 minutes. And you would think for a long movie like that, you would like that, but it's like short bursts of action. Like there's way too much stuff going on, and by the time you kind of put things together, the movie's over. And then the movie just kind of ends abruptly, and you just don't know. Like, are we getting a third movie? Are we? Is it? They kind of leave it ambiguous, but I just don't feel like satisfied at all. I just feel like there was more to this movie if they were able to cut more out, that add actually more quality to the movie. I just feel like there was too much shit going on.
You know what? It kind of reminds me of Tarek. And good review, by the way. I agree with a lot of the stuff you said. Red Peg said this. I'm forgetting what movie you said this about, Red Pig, but where you said it doesn't justify its existence. A lot of that it kind of applies
to this mid-ass Joker.
Yeah, yes, Joker.
It kind of applies to this movie as well. They didn't really have a story. They pulled what they could from the first movie and tried to flesh it out, but they just really didn't have a story with this movie. Most of the reason why I enjoyed it was because of Denzel and the action scenes. But outside of that, this movie, I agree, it's not that great. But we can keep it going with the reviews. Saint, you fresh out the theater. Let's hear how you feel about this movie.
I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. I did not get a chance to rewatch the first movie. I strictly came in there just to see the performances, because Joseph Quinn, that played one of the twin emperors, he did it really good in A Quiet Place.
That's a younger one or older one?
The older one.
He was the older one. He also was in.
I liked him.
He was in Stranger Things last season.
Yeah, he was in Stranger Things, and he was in A Quiet Place Day One that dropped earlier this year. And I just knew he was gonna have a good performance, and sure enough, he did. Even Pedro Pascal, I'm actually surprised he actually like showed some emotion. I don't know, like, because recently he's been like doing a lot of roles, and it's not his fault. I mean, he's got to get his work in, right? But I felt like he's been phoning in a lot of his fucking recent like roles, shows, movies, and etc. Right?
You saying that for Last of Us, buddy?
That's included as well. Don't get me wrong, he has some good moments in that show, but that's a whole nother topic. But he did good. Of course, Denzel outshined everybody. That was no surprise. Y'all are saying the accent thing. You know what it is? It's he did a different tone than he usually does, and it was a certain moments where he would have different interactions with different characters, and where he's like politicking his way in, of getting basically the throne. And that's no spoiler that they imply that in the trailer. I will say it's a 7 out of 10. I'm not saying it justifies existence at all. I was there strictly for the performances. I was satisfied on that end. But the pacing is bad. There were times, even in the beginning of the movie, it was cutting all over the place.
The opening fight.
No, actually, not even the opening fight was good. It's just, I'll say a little bit after that, yeah. Maybe a little bit after that is where it kind of just got a little wonky. Character development, I guess you could say that does hurt. And it's not even just that they didn't give the twin emperors enough time to like on screen. The issue is this movie has 3 subplots. They eventually like intertwine with each other towards the end of the movie, and they're hints of what each character's motive is if you're paying attention. But it just it kind of lands flat for some people, like Tarek was saying, because it gets all over the place. And if you don't like movies with multiple subplots, like Beetlejuice, you're not gonna like this movie. Yeah, my only gripe is the pacing and whatnot. The visuals are good, and of course I had to watch in IMAX because there's no fucking Dolby showings.
But that's not an issue for you, brother. You said the colors are better in IMAX. You said
it is.
You said it's more vibrant and it looks better in IMAX.
It is. It is.
No, it's not. Absolutely.
It is. But the sound is where I wanted the sound for this one, but it's all good. Do I recommend watching this movie? If you're a fan of Denzel, of course, which I seen in my theater, it was packed the fuck out. Yeah, go ahead. If you're a Denzel fan, go ahead and watch it. If you're not going in for anything else, just wait till this comes to streaming. It's cinema, but it's not
like it was.
Listen, it's not a
it's diet cinema.
Yeah, like I can't put it up there with Dune, Challengers, and all these other great movies. And fuck it, I gotta say probably even Wicked, because I mean, if you're into musicals, go watch that instead. It's not a bad movie, but they didn't need to make this movie. And also, the last gripe I had about this movie is that nigga Scott really got to stop this bullshit of doing like inaccurate bullshit. And he was trying to he always tried to justify stuff while saying, "Oh, it looks cool." There's a part in this movie in the beginning of the fucking movie, and y'all know what it is. The CGI was bad. I'm sorry, it was bad.
With the water?
No, before that, in the very beginning. Let's just say he a certain character bites an animal. I'll just say that. And
yeah,
I was just
that's after that, actually. Yeah.
No,
I didn't feel like that animal CGI was that bad.
Yeah, I even thought the rhino looked good.
The rhino was good.
The rhino looked good.
But
there was a part where
that particular animal that character bit, just it didn't look right, bro. It looked like some.
It looked
like
it
looked good.
Like a deep fake.
I didn't think the animals looked bad. It was like
I wasn't sure if it was a dog or a monkey.
That's what I'm saying.
It looked like one of them.
It didn't look right.
It looked like a shaved African monkey.
Yeah,
like one of them wild killer monkeys.
Yeah, but dog, it looked like a dog at the same time. That
Yeah,
shit
it
was
did like a
barking,
dog.
bro.
It did like a dog a little bit.
It did. Like it was just like, what the hell is going
I was in
on?
the theaters. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that? And I see someone like looking at the movie. They're twisting their head, like, yo, what is that shit? I'm like, I don't know, but I don't know. Yeah,
It was
that was
weird.
weird.
It was
Yeah,
this
it was
little
really
thing,
weird.
like the newspaper thing. You're like, what the fuck? That don't make sense. The shark thing, which that's not a spoiler. That's been all over in fucking articles and whatnot. That shit didn't make any sense. If you could turn your brain off and just be like, okay, I'm just here for entertainment, then cool. But that shit, it was just little things that piled up where I'm like, that's stupid. Come on now, that didn't even look cool to me. If I'm being real.
I'm just mad they had his armor up like a video game. You could go and buy that shit in the fucking tunnel. Or that shit pissed me off. I'm like, dog, why do you gotta have this shit framed up? Like, who would allow that shit anyway? That made no fucking sense, dog.
It did feel like a superhero movie in that sense.
Yeah.
Nigga was putting on the suit. Alex, what you thought about Gladiator suit, bro?
I don't want to restate what all y'all said. Cooler movie. It didn't feel as grandiose as I thought it would feel. I thought I was about to see like a blockbuster, like Ridley Scott, Denzel. I was coming into it just expecting like a crazy, I wanted to walk away feeling like, yeah, that's gonna be something I think about for the rest of the like next year. It wasn't that. It felt very local. Denzel's performance is probably the biggest green light this film has, and that's really only because it's nice to see him move around. In Equalizer 3, I remember I told y'all it didn't feel good seeing him hobble around. Like he was killing people and then he would hobble to like the table and have a coffee. Like it didn't feel like that was a good role for him. In this movie, he's walking around, he's jogging, he's very expressive. I mean, even with the arms, the hip, like he's moving around. He doesn't look his age, and maybe it's the hair. Maybe because he has hair and some earrings and a goatee, and it's just the look that's tricking me. But he felt charismatic in this movie. He had the funniest scene I think I've seen in like a few movies. There was at one point where he was like talking about, oh, I know nothing gets in the city without you touching them first, whatever, like a sexual joke. And this nigga put his tongue through his teeth like Drewski. And when I tell you, I laughed out loud, bro. He's like, nothing comes without you. And then it cut. Like he didn't even get to finish the laugh. It was like the movie cut and went to like a serious scene. And that was hilarious. So I'm gonna see this movie again just to see that part. The main actor, the dude that plays I almost called this nigga Jojo Siwa. What's his name? The Roman name? I am Dragon Maximus, the nigga's grandson. Lucius. I almost called this nigga Jojo Siwa. Lucius was doing this weird thing with his mouth the whole movie that was pissing me off. It's like he had dip in his mouth. I was like, why is he doing his jaw like that? He didn't really do anything spectacular this whole movie. I mean, there were moments where I thought, okay, come on, act, show me something. Like when he recited that poem after he kills somebody, I was like, okay, I'm seeing a little bit. But he never really stepped up to the plate as some pull for this movie. The more this movie went on, I went, yeah, this is a movie just to see Denzel act. Nobody challenged him. Every scene he was in, he dominated. He had the William Dafoe effect. Like anytime he got on scene, whether it was for 30 seconds or 5 minutes, I was glued to Denzel. That's all I wanted to see. So as a movie, it wasn't spectacular as far as the plot. It's been years since I saw the first one, but it did that thing that I hate that movies do. I hate when movies show scene from other movies and it's like a flashback, but all they did was put like a sepia tone on it or like a cool tone on it. I hate when movies do that. Do not show me an old movie. Do not put another movie on the screen. Either do a dramatization or do a more spectacular way to pull that memory from us viewers. It feels lazy. I think they did, what was that, a Spider-Man movie they did that in recently? It was something where it was like, I think it was the Sam Raimi. It was a Spider-Man movie. It was like repeat after. I'm like, nigga, how y'all basically are having us watch two movies right now. I hate when they do that. 6.9 to 7 out of 10 for this movie. Yeah. It was cool. If you want to see Denzel act before he gets too old and he retires, go see this movie. Pretty good. He had one quote. He had a line that I was waiting for. He said, "Tonight the games will commence, and in them I prevail." And then he took a bow and closed the door. I said, "Ah!" So he had one of those, but yeah, it wasn't crazy.
Yes, sir. Red Peck, did you get to see it, Red Peck?
Yeah.
What you thought?
Yeah, I gotta agree with some of y'all. It's a 7 out of 10. Not a bad movie. The story, honestly, I thought this movie was underwhelming as hell. But it did have some cool fights. The CGI was mid. The animals looked good, but it was like the effects, like the water and shit, it didn't look good. This movie was way more gory than I expected to. Way more gory than the first movie. I give it that. But yeah, I thought the costume design shit. I thought the twins. Honestly, if this movie followed the twins more, nigga, this movie would have been fire, low key.
Facts.
But yeah, nigga, this storyline gets muffled and sidetracks, nigga. Like Tyrek said, nigga, this movie like 2 hours and 30 minutes, nigga. It is that long and it feels rushed and incomplete to me. Didn't like it that much. This movie is better than Napoleon though. I will say that much. Yeah, man. We waited 24 years for this. This movie is the same. It's older than. Yeah, we waited. Y'all waited 24 years.
We didn't wait 24 years for this. Nobody asked for this.
Some niggas did. It looked like, I think Saint did.
No, some people did.
No,
I think Saint did, nigga.
Who so we could beat
I
him
didn't.
up?
Not me.
Saint definitely did, nigga.
Who so we could
What
beat
the
him
fuck
up?
did I say that?
Oh well, never mind. Well, somebody asked.
Hold on, bro. This is like the third time you didn't lie. In one time. What the hell?
Hey, somebody didn't ask
Somebody
for
told
it.
a lie that day.
I was skeptical
Also-
ever since that movie, dog. Oh my god! Please don't
Also,
make them.
this movie cost like $250 million to make.
What?
So yeah, nigga, they had to pay Denzel, nigga. I know you see they had a couple good actors in here. You know that any of y'all ever seen Spartacus, the TV show?
Yeah.
No.
With a black man in the beginning,
Oh, he was in 300. He was a
him
nigga
too.
that got kicked
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
wheel.
Yep. He yeah, that nigga, yeah.
Bro,
They had some
Imagine your
notable
career
actors in
is.
here.
Ain't you the nigga that got kicked into the wheel? That's his whole
Yes,
acting career.
dog. He yeah, man. This the movie had a promising story and shit. It actually had a decent amount of star power in here. And this movie still couldn't. It just the over reliance on CGI, the shitty nostalgic callbacks. This movie just felt hollow compared to the original to me. You know, it had a few sparks in the third act, but yeah, nigga, the sequel will have fans wondering if, you know, some legends are, you know, left in the arena.
It's like the first movie is like Weapon Wheel, and then the second movie is like Good Gaming. It just falls off.
Bro,
this movie ain't that bad.
Bro,
This movie ain't that bad.
Bro,
Come on now.
bro.
Come
Y'all
on,
gotta
come on.
stop.
It's more like
it's more like
Arlo.
bro.
It's more like
The mic is on.
Please.
Fuck. Oh shit.
Please,
no,
say
the first movie is Sacred Symbols, and this movie is Weapon Wheel. That's fair. I give this movie a 7 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah. Why? I say all that. It's like
Yeah, but
Well, Inside
low-key,
Out 2 is
Tyrek-
good game,
Yeah.
and this movie is Movie Guys.
Low-key,
God.
Tyrek. This
Lord.
movie low-key had the same issue that Napoleon had.
It was too
like-
long.
Yeah, that and it felt unfinished. Like
Yeah.
so, yeah. Ridley Scott, he
Wait, don't
You
you
know-
love Napoleon?
I said Napoleon was good. I said it was.
No,
alright.
you went to my Tourette.
I thought
Okay.
it was decent. I don't think it was bad. I just think that you can see he I don't know. His movies are not making.
They're not
Um,
coherent no more.
They're
Like
not- they don't string together well anymore. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
he used to be really good at it, and I'm just like, okay, I think it's time for him to hang it up. Like he's 86 years old. Hey man, go chill out on the
But it
island somewhere.
is impressive. Yeah, 86. He's still making movies on this scale, though. I give him that. It's better than with that nigga who made Megalopolis. It's better than what he doing. So I'll say that
Oh
much.
shit.
This shit wasn't shot like a TV show. I'll tell you that much, nigga. Like Young and the Restless, nigga. This
Well, no,
Wow,
if
platinum.
you have the production value of this movie was pretty damn good.
yeah.
I'm just like, dog. I don't know why who asked for this movie. That's my thing. Like, who asked for the follow-ups of this movie? It's like, dog, you kind of disrupted like one of the
Yeah.
best one-shot movies you in the history of fucking
Yeah.
films.
Did he
It
direct
didn't
the
make any
first one?
sense.
Yeah, he
Huh?
did.
He directed the first. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did the first one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Denzel saved this movie. He definitely saved this movie.
Without him,
Denzel
it would have been a
definitely saved the
much
movie.
worse movie.
This movie would have been ass without Denzel.
I feel like if they focused on the two emperors and only on
And Denzel.
them, it would have made sense. That because my thing is Denzel should have been like a fucking what's the word? He should have been a character that was like teetering on the edge of like good or evil, or like I don't feel like there was too many villains in the show, bro. You can have 3 fucking villains and a fucking monkey and shit. Come on, bro. That shit made no fucking sense, man. Like, I don't know. And it's like the transition of power, like it just feels I don't know. Y'all didn't feel like shit just happened too fast. I'm like, yo, dog, what is going?
Well, that's the
What is
thing.
going on?
The third act, I remember watching when I
Yeah.
was in the theater. I was like, this third act is not very good. They were just rushing through shit. The storyline kind of took a nosedive, in my opinion. The third act easily, yeah. I was like, this a lot going on right now. Now, granted, there was some parts of it that were enjoyable. Again, story wise, a lot of shit was happening, but Denzel at least made it entertaining. I'll give him that.
I don't even think that is rush. It's just like the way. Well, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'll just say a certain character does some shit to where it's like, wait a minute, ain't nobody gonna question what the fuck is going on right now. Gonna go with it, like, all right.
Yeah, I gotta think about it, bro. That was in the early stages of. I think it was literally. I don't want to mess up my timeline. When I took like 4 years of Latin, so I used to know all this crap. But from what I understand, they were only a couple generations, like maybe 2 generations removed from the start of Rome. So it wasn't like this was, I think maybe 16 years. I don't know. It was literally years. It hadn't been hundreds of years of a republic and voting and this and that. In that time, they still figuring out what this looks like as a society. Like they were conquering.
I don't even mean the voting. I'm talking about what he did. Like, the bag that he had, bro. I'm just like, yo, we just gonna go with this? What the hell? And this is a whole. Well, I'm not gonna say it.
The bag.
You get.
You talking about when he walked into the meeting?
Yeah, when he walks in the meeting and like everything that's going on outside, like I'm just like, this is
fam. But this is the thing. The people didn't trust the emperors, so people were more so scared. They looked at Denzel. What? All right, we
I'm just gonna leave it alone.
You know what? You know what pissed me off? So they had captured a bunch of prisoners that were Muslim. This movie takes place in 186 BD, or sorry, CE, or 80, whatever. Islam was founded to 600 AD. What the fuck was he thinking? Like no one fact checked like that. The religion wasn't even invented yet. Like I picked up on shit like that, like in historical inaccuracies in the movie. That shit pissed me off. Come my dog. I'm like, yo, you couldn't have got like other fucking people who lived at that time. I mean, he got the people from Nambunda right. That made sense. But like the other slaves that were speaking Arabic and saying like Kaifa Hal and like Walaikum Salam. I'm like, dog, the language was even developed then. I'm like, dog, what are you talking like? That shit pissed me off. Like he should know better. He should have known better, dog.
Well, we still got to get Mafia's review before we finish.
Yeah.
Mafia, what you think about it?
This is gonna be real quick. So, like Red Pit said, I came into the movie. It was very underwhelming. It had a good start. The gore and violence was good, but I couldn't tell you the name of any of the characters. The story was not serviceable. By the middle of the movie, I was dozing off in the theater. The ending, all of it just didn't really make sense. Cause it's just like, where are we going with this? Like, I don't know, man. I'm just gonna keep it real. This wasn't cinema for me.
But it was the same.
Like Wonton said, diet cinema. Like there's glimpses in there.
We can't be bastering the word cinema, buddy. You
Something
gotta.
something about it, yeah, something about it just didn't feel grand. Like I felt like with Denzel, the IP, I just really expected like world shattering, like why
There's
did
nothing innovative
like
about it, you know.
yeah, like why did Babylon as a movie feel like to me a very like that felt like a magnum opus, you know what I mean? Like that felt like they put their foot into the story, fleshing out characters.
Babylon.
Babylon,
You
remember
seen
the
that
movie about movies?
Oh, yeah.
That I walked out of that movie like, yeah, that was a movie. Totally different genre, but everything everywhere all at once. Like, think about the movies that have came out over the past couple years that we're like, man, that's a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. And I'm like, this didn't I felt like this should have been in that conversation off the idea alone. You know what I mean? Like when you talk about that time period, you know how easy it should have been for them to get some fire one-liners off? And they got a couple one-liners in there, but it's like, nigga, this is the movie where you making like they have a conversation. You will be scratched from history forever, or there are scenes, and it's in the trailer. It's not a spoiler, where their names are inscribed in rock or in stone. If your name is crossed out in stone, we don't know who you are. It don't matter how great you were. They even had a conversation about it. Say, yo, who was this? And it was like, oh, that was Maximus. Those that have been here for a while still speak whispers of his name. Like you're talking about a society where the folks that we do have their names for, do you know how the impact they had to have to still have their name ring off hundreds of thousands? Like I'm like, why aren't y'all making this feel like these are titans that we're talking to? Why isn't this way more dramatic than Pedro Pascal whispering to his wife in a garden? Nigga, I need to feel like the world is shattered. I need to feel like this is the cusp of I need to feel like this is the civilization that you just said are conquering India and China next. Like that didn't give me that vibe. You see what I'm saying? Like it felt way too localized. It didn't feel like an empire. It felt like New Orleans. You see what I'm saying? So anyway.
Oh shit.
Anyway.
Oh, brother.
Red Pig, we got your thoughts already? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think we did. Okay. Well, yeah. Any final thoughts for Gladiator 2?
Can we stop making sequels to movies that we don't need to have sequels for? Like this,
I almost thought there was sequel baiting with this movie too.
Dog, there was no reason. It's Gladiator is one of them things where like you just leave it there. Like people leave things alone. Let things die. There was no reason to bring this shit back and shoot it in the head. Like, come on. And then there's a possibility of a third movie. Come on, dog. Can we just forget this happened? Like, can we just erase this shit? Like, what's that shit in Men in Black when they like walk up and flash that shit in people's face? I want that. Like, like the movie's not a bad movie. It's a horrible
disappointing underwhelming.
To like it's like it doesn't live up to anything the first movie stood for at all. So that's why it's a big disappointment. It's relative to the first movie. If you put it against other movies, yeah, that plays a pretty decent. Like if the first movie didn't exist, this would be a really, really good movie. But because the first movie does exist, this movie it's just not a good follow-up. They needed to do better. And really Scott needs to like go to a nursing home or some shit. I don't know, eat applesauce, something. Like stop not making movies, man. Please. It's a wrap. It's over. Well, other than that, that's it. 5 out of 10.
Yeah, me personally, I'll just say this. If you just want a good movie to watch as far as like entertainment value, I would recommend to go see this in the theater. But outside of that, you're not missing nothing by not watching this movie. I'll just say that. The classic first film is still a classic even without this movie existing. This sequel doesn't really add anything to that, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's all I had. That's all the reviews I had. Do y'all want to add anything else or say anything else before we get up out of here? No?
No, I think I'm good. There wasn't any. Are there any movies that y'all looking forward to at the end of the year other than Nosferatu?
Yeah, Nosferatu is the big one for me.
Sonic 3. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm checking out Sonic 3. Moana 2 comes out this week, I believe.
What the hell? I thought that come out next week. Oh shit. Oh, come on, Thanksgiving Day.
Yep. Moana 2. Uh, Timothy Chalamet has a Bob Dylan biopic coming out in Christmas as well.
Good on that.
He's getting some Oscar buzz for that. I'm not really a big fan of Bob Dylan's music, but I think I'll probably still check that out just to see how it is. But yeah, Nosferatu is the biggest one for me. That's like the only other movie I'm really looking forward to for the rest of the year. But yeah, so we appreciate y'all, man. This is our first show back in like 2 weeks. We should have another show. Well, I don't know. This week is it's the holiday, so we might not do a show this week. I guess it just depends on how things play out. But if we don't do one this week, we'll definitely be back the week after. First week of December. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Go check out the movies for the reviews that we gave today. I just want to point out, no spoilers tonight. There wasn't a single spoiler. So I just want to point that out, man. They be saying they be no spoiler guys podcast. Look, man, no spoilers tonight. Just putting that out there. But yeah, appreciate y'all. Let's do the outros. Repe, go ahead, brother.
Hello?
Okay, Tyrek, go ahead. Outro.
Good podcast. See y'all next week. December will have better movies.
Yeah, watch out.
Mufasa.
But yeah.
Oh my
December
God. Y'all looking forward to that?
November.
No, that shit about to be ass.
Yes,
That shit about to be ass.
Yo, Redhead
Yeah, that's
really
what
does
we
think he's
do.
Simba, bro. Like,
Nigga, I'm actually Scar. Bitch ass nigga, try me.
boy, you brother bear, nigga. You ain't nobody.
Please. You Wally. Fucking
I'm
Bob.
what?
Wally.
Wally. I'll be Wally. I'm not mad at that.
Why you saying his name like that, Wally?
Yeah, he don't.
How you say it, nigga?
Nigga,
Wally?
Wally. Now,
Wally.
Wally.
That's what I said.
no, Wally.
You saying it like he a rapper, Wally.
He's
Wale.
saying it like he's saying it like he
Say
reading
Wale.
a hyphen. He reading a hyphen in his name.
Okay.
Wally.
Whatever. Wally.
Yeah,
Bro,
this cigarette bag is stupid.
It's just Wally.
Yo, want me to say it
Wally.
slow? Wally.
No,
Fuck
you say
you.
it. You
Get
say
it?
it all together.
You get
Wally.
it?
It's Wally.
Wally. The fuck?
You were saying it
No,
like
you
Wally.
said it. You said it like Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, you said
That's not how
Wally.
his name.
You said Wally.
I said, Wally, you didn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. What?
I thought you was calling me like Muhammad Ali. I was like, okay, I'll be you.
Anyway, nice podcast, bitch.
I'm
It was better. when
Nice
you was on there, though.
podcast.
Go ahead, Alex Satro.
Oh, hey, shout out to the movie guys. Sorry, I was kind of tardy. Had to go to the hospital for a little bit. So, good episode. A lot of movies came in. Are there movies coming out next week to constitute a? I mean, it's holidays. I don't think we having a. Are we having a show next week?
That's what I was saying. We might not have one, but we'll see.
Won't be on that one, brother.
Alex, you did miss. We did premiere the new intro video. So
Hey, y'all like it?
yeah, I think they rocking with it. Shout out to Blaze and Lazy Titan again.
Shout out Blaze and Lazy Titan, man.
AD is a
They went
fucking
crazy.
bum one time. God damn it.
Oh, we didn't get it.
Mm-mm. Shout out to LeBron though. Well, LeBron didn't hit either. They got beat by 20 points. Trash ass niggas. Yo, goat his ass.
He's 40 years old, brother.
Okay.
He's doing better than Jordan at his age.
Jordan was a billionaire at his age.
Mafia, go ahead, brother. LeBron is a billionaire. What the fuck? Go ahead, Mafia.
Good podcast, y'all. We'll catch y'all again in a week or two. And remember, keep it cinema.
Yes, sir.
And Saint, if you there, brother, you ready for your outro?
Hey,
Might not be
man.
there. Oh, there you go.
I'm just gonna say, y'all press Alice to watch Challengers, man. Watch party,
Facts.
movie night. We'll do it.
See, we can't trust
We
it.
get-
If we do
we
a
gonna
movie
get
night
horny watching
Discord, I already know Alex. He gonna go to McDonald's. He gonna leave. He gonna be.
No.
Bro, I watched the last movie we watched in Discord. What are you talking about? That was a terrible movie.
What movie? That's a great movie. BG Pro.
The last one we watched was 13.
No, the
Ghosts.
one that BT
tick.
offers.
Oh, he's talking about Oddity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was mid.
It's funny because Alex, you have a depreciation for cinematography. You know, well shot things.
You're talking about for challengers?
Challengers and
A Challenge is
Civil War.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Don't pee me, yo. Don't pee me.
They
yo.
have very good cinematography. Challenger's soundtrack is amazing. There's so many things to enjoy.
Fire.
Let me guess. They got a song from Watch the Throne.
No,
No, it's original music.
Yeah, it's original music.
Yeah.
Um,
Is Serena Williams in the movie?
Why do you hate Zendaya? She's just like you. She's literally you, but skinnier.
The crazy part, the music, like the score itself, Alex would be in that mug twerking in his car, bro. Like, come on,
Fam,
Yep.
I'm
this is your
not
bag.
a great
You keep a vo-
actress. She
I
is
think
the.
Alex is pulling the BG on us.
He
I'm not
is.
pulling up, bro. Y'all
trolling.
y'all don't remember when she was in how she acted in Spider-Man? Y'all don't remember none of this?
brother,
Yeah.
brother. This is Spider.
That's a
Spider-Man.
Marvel movie. None of the-
like,
a
what do
lot
you?
of actors
But
Come
I'm
on,
saying,
come
but
on,
you
come on.
you either a good actor or you not, bro. Like there is no. Well, I had an off day. How many movies have we seen Denzel just be a terrible actor in, or William Dafoe, or Leonardo
repeat
DiCaprio?
that? No. Repeat that.
How many movies have we seen them be bad actors?
No. Repeat what you said before that.
Nigga, that's what I said. Like,
No. You said how many movies we seen Denzel be a terrible actor? That is a crazy.
you just,
ass
I
sentence.
just repeat. You just what? What are you confused about? How many movies have we
He
seen?
was asking a question. That means none.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. That's what I'm saying. We don't have any movies that we can sit there and say, "Oh,
Equalizer.
no, that was just a bad film."
Yeah, like that wouldn't have been
Okay,
terrible.
but this
Like-
is,
What are you
I'ma
talking
just say
about?
this, Alex.
Stop bullshitting. Watch the
What I'm saying
Movie
is
night,
Zendaya is not a great actress.
no,
This
that's
is
cool.
not
She's
true.
not.
No, that's cool.
That's
Let me
not
say
true.
this though. Let me say this though. I don't think nobody's trying to compare her on on that level. No, I'm not saying she's as good as those actors you name, but she's not as bad as you make it out to seem. Especially considering the fact that I said this before. A lot of her best performances you haven't seen. You haven't seen Euphoria.
I don't want to see a movie about teenagers having sex and
Oh,
doing
you
cocaine.
didn't watch it for? No, next
Well,
time.
No.
they're all grown adults though. You haven't seen Euphoria.
Oh.
She won an Emmy for it. You haven't seen
She did.
Challengers. Now granted, you've seen Dune, and I remember you saying
And even in Dune, she wouldn't like. Come on, bro.
I thought she was good in Dune. I thought she was
Oh
Definitely
God.
good. But we can get off the topic. Look,
She was good because she had a snorkel in her nose. Come
all I'm
on,
gonna say
bro.
is this, Alex.
Brother, you ordered one on Amazon last week. Like, come on.
Fam.
Let me just say this real quick.
We don't have to do this, man.
Let me just say this real quick. Challengers is good, but it ain't like we telling you to watch it because of her. There's other parts of the movie that make it good. Like she's not like you got
The boys having sex. Okay.
Fuck
No,
what
see,
I'm
that's-
talking
that's-
about.
that's
I
not
am
even-
saying she was good. She was
That's-
leading that motherfucker. We having a
right.
movie night, and you not gonna avoid it no more.
Yeah,
Brother.
see, hold
I
on,
think
wait.
Alex has already watched the movie. He's just doing.
I really
BG.
haven't. I haven't seen that or Civil
Oh
War.
God.
Well, no, you can tell he hasn't watched it because that's what I'm saying. Look, a lot of the times trailers will give you the wrong idea of a movie and they sways you from watching it. So that's what Civil War did. Because you said you didn't want to watch a movie about a Civil War when the movie is not about the Civil War at all. And then
it's not.
Challengers, it makes you
I don't want to watch a
think,
movie about the Civil War.
Challengers, it makes you think the movie is about them having threesomes and orgies, which doesn't happen. So that's what I'm saying. Like you have to actually watch the movie, brother. But yeah, just wanted to say that. So we can get up out of here. Again, appreciate y'all watching. Wait, everybody did the outro, right? Mafia, go ahead.
Yeah.
Red Peg.
No, Red Peg went. Go ahead, Mafia.
What?
No, I'm saying Red Peg didn't do his outro.
Oh.
He did.
Fuck
Why?
Alex. He's a fucking dumbass cracker.
Fire.
He hates Zendaya, who is literally like him. Nigga.
Get the same shampoo.
Nigga, him and his Zendaya, they're the same purple. Like, purple. Like,
Look
you know.
at you. Wally. Like,
Yeah, the same
you
people. You know, y'all is very similar, except y'all switch. Your mama black, but her daddy black. Your daddy white, but her mama white. So y'all
just got a crush on that tomboy. I'm not mad.
I mean, I do, but that's not why I
Tomboy.
think she's a good actress.
I don't.
He is a lot of self hate right now.
Not self-hate.
It
He's
is
just a hater.
definitely
He still
self-hate.
sees her like the girl from Shake It Up.
Thank you. Yeah, he even hated her in Doom too, by the way.
The fact that you even know that you remember shaking.
We all do. Come on.
I think they know each other personally.
Oh my god.
Alex
Y'all
is
niggas
just a hater.
Y'all niggas are so.
He's a hater.
I want better for y'all, bro.
I want better for you, brother.
Mafia, you want to do the outro, brother?
Oh, I already did mine.
Okay. Well, we can get the fuck up out of here, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a 98.9% chance we will not have a show this week.
Ain't no movies coming out next week, are there?
Moana 2, brother.
I'm not seeing that crap.
Here we go again.
What did the church say? Can I get a who? Yeah. I'm not seeing that crap.
I will say this. keep your eyes and ears open for Black Friday. I'm not planning anything, but you never know. That's all I'm gonna say. Shout out to Persona.
You about to drop a
what?
diss song? you dropping a diss song?
Shout out to the What's Up PlayStation podcast. They have been blacklisted
what?
by PlayStation, Sony, PlayStation, and I am starting to believe that we haven't been blacklisted as well. I have a feeling.
Right. I think Sony Pictures blacklisted us.
I have a feeling that they saw our reviews and they weren't happy with the way.
Because Saint, Tarek, and Mafia Quad wasn't getting early access to Craven.
You know why though? You know why though? Because they shitted on Madam Web. They shitted on.
Wait, no. I did not. Wait.
They shitted on Morbius.
Don't.
Morbius is trash.
You can't lie on that. You can't lie on that.
From Sony.
I literally got in King to watch that mug, Madam Web. Now Kiki, he shitted on that. That nigga damn near walked out 3 times on that movie. It's bad, but it was funny.
No, that was ass. I like that. Fuck Sony.
But yeah, we'll see y'all next show, man. Also, real quick, I will be on Weapon Wheel podcast tomorrow. BG sent the invite, I guess, because Jack is out of town still. So tune in to Weapon Wheel podcast tomorrow.
He had to get another fat nigga to take his place.
Oh shit! Back on.
We pulling up on AGS with the smoke too, right?
Yeah, I gotta hop on AGS tomorrow afternoon.
Tarek was thinking the same thing, huh? That's funny.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
man.
Movie guys giving out smoke tomorrow, boy.
Tarek was thinking the same thing.
It's gonna be some openings on the panel. Send your applications.
Now, when that nigga unplug your air fryer, Tarek, you done for.
And I'm done.
Thank you.